Listen, Phil, in the post start of podcast recording, pre you can hear us,
right?
Phil calling out Shoji Meguro hard for his use of Fruity Loops trumpets.
Yeah, it's the one. It's either on Silength or I couldn't even tell you. It's probably like some ancient foreign Japanese VST we'll never know about because I can't.
It's unavailable.
I can't put a finger to it, but. He, for just like a consistent span of time for, I want to say, which generation was the last one? The 7th generation?
Yeah.
360 and PS3?
Maybe. Who cares?
I don't know.
There's too many.
Alice didn't really even participate. I wouldn't consider Catherine participating in the last generation anyway.
No, they kind of bided their time.
Yeah.
For sure. It was just... Well, that's because their big release for that generation still came out on the PS2.
Yeah, Persona 4.
Yeah.
And then Golden came out.
On the Vita. And Dancing All Night.
And was actually kind of a Vita seller for a little while.
What else were you going to play?
I mean, there's Freedom
Soul
Wars.
Sacrifice.
Which was good.
You don't know what... No one knows what Freedom Wars is.
No.
Not
anymore.
Yeah, and now that its superior sequel is out... There's really no reason to go back.
I keep doing that, and you never play it.
Yeah, I do. I just rebought it on PC.
Okay, so you have it on PC.
Yeah, I bought the
So
complete edition.
there's nothing stopping us from co-op dungeons now.
Absolutely not. No, I'm having trouble getting it to run at 144 frames though, because every time it goes into a cutscene, the cutscenes are locked, and then it comes out of the cutscene.
It's such a stupid fucking glitch that they still haven't fixed because the thing is when it goes out, it locks into 30.
Yeah.
So the only way to do it is you have to return to title screen. And it's the dumbest shit.
Yeah.
Because you can't even skip the cutscene to stop it.
So I'm working on it. I'm working on trying. As soon as I get that figured out, I'm ready.
No, there's nothing to figure out. I don't think there's even like a mod or a patch for it. You literally just go to the cutscene and then save.
Well, by figure it out, I guess I mean catch up to a point where I can just do the co-op dungeons, because then there's no cutscenes.
Right. Yeah. So like level 200 then. What is Javian at? What does Javian consider?
Javian, he's dragging his ass. Every time he uploads a video, he's like, "Hello, everybody."
As if we couldn't make this podcast more inaccessible for just about anybody.
Yeah.
We also have to.
I refuse to provide more context than what we've given, though. Don't even fill them in.
We have to constantly refer to somebody who is such a niche YouTuber.
It's about as niche as you can get.
It's almost insane.
Yeah.
If there was a person who you could point to and go, this person has carved out a particular niche, Javian is absolutely one of the first people that comes to mind.
When you have like a YouTube guy that you watch, they're like, they're doing a video on a mobile video. This must be like paid advertisement. Mm-hmm. That's just the kind of video that Javian makes. Yeah. He just makes that mobile advertisement video. And today I'm looking at Epic 7
Well, what's that thing we were talking about a while ago where it's like you don't just fall into advertisements, you just have to keep pretending that you're doing sponsored videos, and at some point they will find you.
Exactly.
And that's kind of, I feel like that's literally Javian's pitch has been in the whole time. I mean, he's doing voiceover work now.
That's good.
For some company.
He has a voice, for sure.
He has.
If you want that voice, that's the guy you should call.
I almost feel like he's the one doing the Monster Hunter videos, but I know it's like a different timbre. You know what I'm talking? Have you heard the one I'm talking about?
Yeah. It's definitely not him, but it does sound close.
It's almost like it's his like distant relative cousin that he's given Capcom jobs on the side, and he's like, no, I want the real shit. I want him to come out and do a whole walkthrough, like a detailed gameplay breakdown of Omega Quintet.
Yeah.
and that be the trailer for the drop.
Yeah. But no, you're right. You just gotta, if you just keep making videos and keep doing plugs like that, eventually they will find you, which is why I'm happy to say this podcast is brought to you by bookwalker.com.
Perfect.
Katakawa's #1 online ebook publishing service.
You have been selling that a lot lately.
If you use the promo code hipster, you can get 800 yen off your next light novel, which it's almost like you're getting it for free. Now would be an excellent time to get into...
You don't even have one.
No, I do. It's so long. I don't remember what it's called.
God,
it's one of those. It's one of those ones that's a sentence. So like, if you fuck up the sentence, then it's like if you try to Google the wrong sentence, you're not gonna get the thing. You're just gonna get something else.
So you're a podcaster too?
Pretty much. Yeah. So.
I can't believe my sister's this popular on YouTube.
I can't. Reborn as a beauty tuber.
Reborn as a grammar.
I now wander the DMs. Oh man. So it's been a second. We're not going to dwell on it. This just happens when it happens.
Yeah, I don't even remember the last time. I think we were, what was 27? Oh, 27 is when we did the Midsummer review. No, that was the one before that.
No,
so
27 was when it was it was Randy Pitchford sending people to break your kneecaps.
Yeah, Borderlands 3 is finally out.
Yeah, it's out.
Played that.
You have played it. You all already know.
Yeah, we streamed a little bit of it.
Yep.
Some other stuff came out.
So this is going to be... We're basically going to do this podcast as if we had done the last one last week. Mm-hmm. And we'll just push on through like literally... Like nothing happened. We'll just not acknowledge it.
Nope. Not even the slightest. So just stay the course.
Stay the course.
So how do you want to do this? You want to pass it off to yourself?
I can go. I can definitely go first.
Okay.
I have been playing a good number of things, but I only really have strong things to say about one of them. Been playing Indivisible. Indivisible has come out. I just got off of doing 4.5 hours today of Indivisible because I won't be able to stream it until next Friday, or this upcoming Friday, I suppose. Indivisible, super great. Made by Lab Zero guys, Skullgirls. If you look at it, you just go, hey, isn't that just Skullgirls? And you're like, yeah, but it's not an RPG. It is a Metroidvania with Valkyrie profiles. Combat
battle system.
Yeah. Combat system is super cool. There's a lot of characters. You get them very quickly. You're constantly getting new abilities in the overworld where I'm at the point right now that I thought I'd be at the end of the game. And apparently I'm only halfway through. I'm about 11 or 12 hours in right now.
Okay.
So there's a lot of game there. There are some quality of life stuff that I think is missing, like dedicated move lists for each one of the characters. Every character is basically bound to a button. You have a 4-man party. So you have triangle, square, X, circle. And then you also have moves on up, down, and neutral. And you use that to build combos. Some characters are obviously healers. Some, like we just got a character that's all buffs. So you get like a speed, attack, or defense buff depending on whether you're holding up, down, or neutral. And you can combine them together to do juggle combos. So all that stuff I really, really like. It has possibly one of the most amazing features that I like, jaw-dropping to actually see this. And it's save function, where you are only saving on one file, and it will create up to 200 save states that you just scroll through. So you don't need to roll saves. You just save, and it'll save up to 200. And you just scroll through. It's like, oh, I want to go back and do something. You can just, like right now, I could go back to the first save I ever made in the game if I wanted to.
Okay.
And just load off of that. That's a fantastic feature. Every single game needs that. What this game specifically needs, I think, is a more detailed move list. Just when you get a new character, this is exactly what up and attack is going to do. This is what down and attack is going to do. This is what their supers do. Because right now you hit triangle on them in the menu, and it gives you a very brief overview. And it tells you like their most important traits and like moves you should be using, but it doesn't tell you everything. And then I've ran into like a couple of bugs and glitches so far. Nothing that can't be like patched. But other than that, it's incredibly solid. Definitely worth the wait. I'm glad I've gone into it with very little information. I played the alpha demo once and remembered that you could do another wall jump if you slam your axe into the wall. That's all I knew about this game. And I knew that it had, I've seen all the main characters you can get. There's 25 party members with, I guess, more on the way. And there's, I think, 6 guest characters in the game right now. And all of the NPCs that you walk into that aren't like story, like just you find wandering around town, are all backer people. So I've run into Zone Tan. I've seen a bunch of people that chat recognize that I don't recognize because they're porn people. So good on you, chat, for looking out.
That is a very strange place to be as a developer. I feel like when you're immortalizing, and it's really indicative of where these kinds of games, like the general fan base that they kind of like gravitate towards.
Yeah,
because I think that Kinuko, how do you say the Lab Zeros? She's like the main artist.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Pretty sure that she's also gravitating towards that because it makes money.
It pays.
It makes an obscene amount of money. And you can't just be a prude on the internet anymore because at this point, porn is probably the main reason you're playing the games you love.
Probably,
honestly,
you're just looking for new gateways, new reference material. I don't know. But the interaction with Zone 10's probably been my favorite in the game, where you walk up to her and she's like, I'm selling this serum. Don't mind the smell. It's a clear white thing. And then the very next line of dialogue is like, what the hell am I doing? Why did I think this would work? I'm sorry. Just move along. Just get out of here. And you just keep moving.
Good. Good. I did see the picture of the Coom jar that I was not really.
Yeah, she's doing like the merchant from Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, they lean into it really hard, and I think that's spectacular.
It's good. It's a cute game. I like all the characters. Ajna I think is super great. Got a lot of flaws, but she's growing.
It's a goddamn shame this game took this long to come out. It really just comes down to the fact that Lab Zero is as indie as it can get.
Yeah, just following the development, they had to go through multiple runs on Kickstarter where they'd get like so close, but just wouldn't hit it. And so they're like, all right, we're going to keep working on the game. They've been porting Skullgirls to everything. You can play Skullgirls on your Switch, your Vita, your phone, anything. It's on everything now.
It's on everything now.
And so, they finally did get it kickstarted. It was always something that I knew, like, unlike other kickstarted games, I knew this one was going to come out. So I was happy just biding my time. I'm like, hey, take as long as you need. Put it, this was very much a back of my mind kind of game. And then I remember seeing like the release date trailer and I was like, oh shit. Well, I saw the full Studio Trigger opening because Trigger does the opening. I was like, oh shit. This comes out in like 3 months. Cool.
Which is it's insane to think about because it's not like that the Kickstarters weren't successful, the multiple runs and stuff like that, but I don't think that they even had like that much money in the first place.
No.
And coming off of the backs of Promare, I never took Trigger to be a studio that was very easy to work with monetarily.
You think about that, and then you remember that Studio Trigger is the only anime production company I can think of with a Patreon.
That is true.
So
yeah, which is like
What do you get for the Patreon?
Who the fuck funded Promare?
You patrons like you at $1 a pledge.
Jesus.
Listen, you donate enough times to watch those weekly drawing streams, which I might.
No, the accountant from Affordable definitely showed up to Trigger offices and said, "Y'all are fucking up. Here's how you can stop that.
Here's how you avoid when they come knocking on your door. That you send out the intern and say nobody's home."
Or maybe like KyoAni just shows up and is like and hands like a fucking like relief package to Trigger every single month, and it's just the guy going, "I love you, please don't stop."
Trigger, the little studio that could.
I
don't even really know.
Yeah, the little studio that does, not that could, that does.
The studio that just is, it's, again, in the back of your mind, they're always working on something. You're like, yeah, Trigger will make something eventually. Yeah, brand new Animal will come out next year.
You know what I look at Trigger as? Trigger I find to be like kind of like the Platinum Games of the anime world.
Yeah. No, that's like, pretty much what they are.
They're somebody's funding them. You don't know who. It's sometimes it's obvious, sometimes it's nebulous.
Yeah.
But somehow you're going to be like watching something that they created and you'll enjoy it, but you don't know how it got there. All you know is that it is there, and it's almost like it manifested.
Like, okay, Darling in the Franxx was a joint disaster with A1 Pictures. You figured out how that got there.
And I'm pretty sure that the people who took the majority of the loss was definitely A1 almost entirely.
And then you look at Darling in the Franxx, and you're like, how did you guys also make Gridman that same year? Who was working on that? Are you guys big enough to do that? Are you allowed? Was Promare also being worked on?
I
Are
100%.
You big? Where's my Patreon money going? I want to see a staff list.
Oh, speaking of which, I did want to, and I don't want to like break into news because I did hear about that. I don't know if we didn't talk about it last time. Just as a quick aside, did you see what the KyoAni's doing?
No.
All those donations? They said, no, screw it. We're not going to use it to rebuild the studio. We gave all the donations to the victims. The victims' families.
Yes, I did see that.
Which is probably some of the most like actual heart in a company I've seen ever.
Yeah, no.
To sit there and take literal free money and go, no, we can recoup our costs. Yeah, we're not going to recoup our people. So we're going to go ahead and send this over to them. And it's like, God damn it. They are trying so hard to just be the best ever.
Yeah, and hey, they're doing it.
They're doing it.
Again.
Good for them.
I'll watch Violet Evergarden eventually.
Mm-hmm.
It's on
the list.
It's on Netflix. I can go see it. But yeah, moral of the story: Indivisible is super cool, and I guess Trigger is also really cool.
Yeah.
As an aside,
Trigger's really cool. Whatever dark deity they've been praying to keep going, please assist more.
Studio Trigger. Sometimes they make a big blockbuster movie. Sometimes they make the Shantae opening. Who knows what they're up to? So that's really the only game of note I can say I've been playing. I have been, I play a lot of small things, but it's not anything I can talk about because it's stuff we're going to use for the future. So, I can't really speak to that. As far as, watching.
Max takes these long breaks where I'm the only one streaming for a little while. But I feel like it's just because he's plotting.
Yeah, while I'm at work.
While he's at work.
Building like a 10 by 18 screen.
Coming up with a schedule out of pure vitriol.
Yeah. Every stream comes from a place of malice.
And YouTube promptly reminds us every single time where that malice directly leads us into corporate fucking... I can't believe the Ray Earth opening fucked over all of Weeaboo.
So if you're watching this live, you got to see the big bumble that was another video focused around anime that we uploaded, immediately getting blocked in every country that exists, and then shut the fuck down. So when you guys are listening to this podcast on YouTube, Weeaboo Power Hour 1 will be uploaded and fixed. I just have to remove the Ray Earth opening because I guess it's just the opening. And I don't know who's defending Magical Night Ray Earth copyright, but they're vicious. They're out for blood.
Who's the corporation I always see on those videos? Shueisha?
Yeah.
Every single time. It doesn't matter what anime it is, it's Shueisha.
I got clapped by Sony a couple times.
In Weeaboo?
Not in Weeaboo, just in general. I think Sony was the one that got me on a Ginger Moon.
Jesus.
Which that's so much work to never be able to upload to YouTube.
No, but we can.
It's on Twitch. It's the only place I could find that would take it.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe Vimeo. Maybe Vimeo will take it.
This podcast, Ginger Moon, now brought to you by Smashcast.gg.
Yeah. I haven't. I mean, I've mostly been listening to the same stuff I always listen to. I can't remember if I brought up Adrian Wave
Yeah.
the last time I was
actually,
on
no.
the podcast. Did I?
I don't think you brought up Adrian Wave, but yeah, I love Adrian Wave.
Yeah, I unlike a lot of crazy people, I don't do this for videos. I rarely do this for anything, but for music, sometimes I just open Spotify and they're like, "Hey, you might like this based off the dumb shit you listen to."
Yeah.
And so they said, "You might like Adrian Wave." And I did, specifically the Take Care of Yourself album. Mm-hmm. Very good. Yeah, basically exactly what I wanted. So good on you, Spotify.
So I don't know much about Adrian Wave as as performer or performers. I'm not too familiar with them in like a live sense, but they've been in the scene since 2008 and before. Like they've been around for a very long time because they specifically are responsible for an anthem or like a remix of a certain song that is considered basically like an anthem. And I have to, when it comes back to me, I'll let you know.
Was it Darling?
No.
Which is...
It's not Darling.
Have you heard Darling?
No, I haven't.
Well, I'll just show you the album art.
Yeah? Oh.
It all comes back together. It is a really good song with samples from 02 saying, "Darling."
Oh, that's weird. I never took Adrian Wave to be a bunch of either a weeaboo or a bunch of weeaboos.
I was gonna say the Take Care of Yourself album has like a bunch of like old anime vocals sampled into it.
Really?
Yeah. Like everyone who does that kind of music.
Maybe I need to listen to more Adrian Wave.
So yeah,
Or maybe I'm being confused with something else.
You might be.
Or I'll find out.
So yeah, I've been listening to mostly that and the Promare soundtrack, which I'm currently working on getting a physical copy of because I've just decided I think I'm just gonna own everything Promare.
Oh no, you're right. I am being confused with something.
If you look at both,
Adrian Wave is just future funk.
Yeah,
that's cool.
No, it's cool.
That's fine. I'll listen to Adrian Wave. I have now that I've seen like, because there's this weird part of my brain that because artsy music exists, you follow artsy music, right?
No, but I listen to enough of it that it shows my related all the time.
Yeah. Okay. So there's a
kind of
weird part of my brain that now associates any sort of just 1 to 5 second clip of anime to just a future funk song.
Yeah.
And of course, for me, I think the one that always pops up and then when that's got like 9.8 million views is Tanuki's Baby Baby Baby, which has the Space Invader Lum. It uses most of the intro from Space Invader Lum. And it's the same thing with now I get why that name was familiar to me because it's also using like a bunch of older anime, which I find like that I did go down that rabbit hole one day because they're like, what is this from? And they're like, some anime, and they posted the name, and I was like, I would like to know what this is. And I watched it, and it was really strange.
Yeah.
Like really, like 1980s like slice of life animes are very real and strange because they're not like they don't have the I guess like when the 90s showed up, there was like a much more bubbly kind of pop kind of thing associated with it. Whereas in the 80s, it was like real like
I was gonna say they
heartbreak shit.
I was gonna say they hadn't perfected the archetypes yet, so they were just kind of people.
They were people, yeah. And it was very like when someone cheated on someone, like I guess it's that thing where it's like you don't know, which I'll go over in my segment as well.
Yeah.
But I feel like I feel like the voice acting was on point whenever someone was really sad in Japanese. You know what I mean?
The Japanese
where
dub.
it's like
again,
there's
it is very much which one did you watch?
Right.
It is
as we'll go on, I'll tell you what I had to keep watching.
Yeah, I know.
And we'll see.
That was big surprising. I opened my Verve and I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't watch this. I was like, all of Domestic Girlfriend. I didn't watch a single episode of this.
You have no idea how close I was to
that's
just
the
being
kind of
like,
slice of life you're looking for. Apparently, Steven said it. Not only is that show okay, but the opening is a bop.
Oh.
So, yeah.
The Scottish weeaboo.
Steven, our friend Six Scott, has gone way further down the rabbit hole than even I have in recent years.
No, I wouldn't even say that he's further down. I'm saying he's on the other side of it.
Yeah.
He's the one inviting you in.
I'm now digging my way to Steven.
He is the fucking Cheshire cat who's leading you down to Wonderland.
I watch ReZero with the guy, and he's like, oh, so this is what isekai is. And now he is so far... Is like, what, you haven't seen the wrestling one yet?
The student has become the sensei.
You're not watching even... what is the... It's another sentence. I'm sorry.
Why did they do this? Just come up with real names.
It doesn't even fit. Look, it's 2 lines, and they had to still do ellipses.
Read it out.
Superhuman high schoolers are in another world, ... It didn't even get to, like, the premise. It just said...
But is there a premise?
Yeah, it's the one, life is easy for Prodigy High School in another world. Slime.
Move on.
Anyway.
Did you watch anything?
Yeah, but it's been so long. I basically finished stuff from last season, and obviously, My Hero started up again. I'm still watching Dr. Stone, still watching Fire Force. We Never Learn, Season 2, already here, loving that. It's probably... It's just like a slice of life kind of harem-y show. It's probably my favorite show I'm watching right now. I swear that fucking Fumino is my favorite character ever of all time.
Let it consume you.
I'm letting it wash over me.
Yeah.
Food Wars again. I'm mostly.
Let's be honest. You just watch the other action anime just because you have to.
You
would rather watch harem animes all the time.
Okay,
you
all right, bastard. Fine. You opened it up. Because I did watch other shows to their completion, which was the Ao-chan Can't Study and Sensei, Why Are You Here? And then I got through most of My Girlfriend is Show Bitch, which I can't tell you anything. Like, not as a spoiler thing. I genuinely don't know why it's called that.
Oh.
And Senko-san, the helpful fox, the one with the cute fox girl that helps the guy out. Okay. And I realized, like, this is just a lot easier to watch than sitting down and going like, all right, I am for a 13, 24, 52 episode epic. It's like, man, I don't want to watch that. I want to watch some colorful characters do some people shit.
That's inherently one of the main reasons why I was able to sit down and watch the thing I did.
Yeah.
And why I was able to do it because I think I'm, spoiler alert, I am writing something for it.
Oh, wow. Cool. I can't wait for the next blocked in all countries Hipsters on Purpose video.
Thing. Yeah. I basically was like, I think, I remarked on it in the review, I think that the traditional Netflix and YouTube kind of way of consumption of media has absolutely ruined me for like following anything that's like simulcast or anything that I have to wait for. I literally will not.
Binging.
I will literally not. Like the last time I kept up with something was Kill la Kill.
See,
any other anime I tried to get into, I would watch one episode. Like Parasite, I was actually super into Parasite, and I ended up just reading the manga instead.
Yeah,
because I was just like, same thing with even Attack on Titan. When I first watched the first 4 episodes of Attack on Titan, I was in.
I was in for 7.
And then Eren died, and I was in harder than ever.
Yeah.
And then I read the manga, and I immediately booted out.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I did, because it was, but like, because like I liked Attack on Titan. I think I've talked about this before. Whereas like when Eren died, that's when it was supposed to start for me, because I was like, oh fuck, what do they do now?
Yeah.
They've been setting up this main character for 4 episodes, and he's dead. Yeah, that's so brave, and it's the most.
There's definitely no way they would ever do that. I know of one piece of media recently that has done that. Only one.
What's that?
I'm not telling you.
Is it a video game?
Yes.
Oh. Is it on the docket?
No.
Oh, so why don't you tell me?
Because I still want you to play it. Like off stream. Like I just want you to experience it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Attack on Titan I fell off of for different reasons. But I find like See, some shows I feel like are easier to consume in that binge kind of format. But as far as like what I've been seeing with like Dr. Stone and like My Hero and Demon Slayer was like this, because everything comes out on like a day, like I have the shows that come out on Friday, shows that come out on Saturday, stuff that happens in the middle of the week. It becomes one of those things where it's like, I don't mind waiting week to week because I have like 3 or 4 episodes of something. I have an hour and a half of things to watch today. I'm caught up on this, and this. Now I'm satisfied for watching things. I can wait a week.
You know why? Because you don't do games as service games.
No.
You don't do MMO kind of games. So there's that thing where it's like you don't have a thing that you already dedicate yourself to. So since fighting games are something that you just kind of go in and out, like whereas for like I'm into Destiny 2 now, and I'm into Monster Hunter now.
Yeah.
There's like a level of dedication I have to put aside for it to be like, okay, I have to play today, which sucks. But like when I do play those games, I do enjoy them.
Yeah.
So.
But the thing for me is more like binging. The idea of like this show is done. Like I've been waiting to finish Kill la Kill for the longest time because I wasn't keeping up with it. I'm finally watching it back through with Steven and Popcorn right now. Really enjoying it. But for me, it was always like, man, I don't want to sit down for 24 episodes right now. And then I don't want to be like, oh, I'll watch an episode today and an episode tomorrow and 3 episodes on Wednesday. For me, it's like, okay, I just have to watch 1 episode a week. I just have to find that time to watch 1 episode every week, and I can keep up. And I'm in it, and I'm good. Whereas, like, if I sit down, it's like, even if it's like 13 episodes, it's like, that's still 22 minutes per episode. Fuck, I don't know. Why would I do that? I still have all this other stuff I want to watch or play, or it's like.
I think I also.
And the thing with anime that makes it super hard is like if I'm watching it in Japanese, I can't do something else. Like when I caught up on the cop show. What the fuck? Terry Crews and
Brooklyn 911.
Yeah, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I think.
Yeah, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That's what it was.
Yeah, caught up on that. Super easy. Binge went all the way through because I had it on another monitor. I was listening to it. Fine. And I could do that with anime, but I want to give it my full attention. And like, I just won't know what's happening if I'm not looking at the screen at the subtitles.
See, I can't do that. I can't watch something unless it's like a video essay wherein I can miss something and I don't really lose on anything of the experience. Like a podcast or anything something that's like this, right? Where it's like this is the sole purpose is that when people want to go listen to us, it's like they can do it on a run or something.
It's like I know you got your hand on your dick right now.
Right.
It's cool.
It's fine.
We come into the podcast expecting that. Yeah. Just like you come into the
and throw it immediately into the waste bin.
Yeah. The podcast immediately into the waste bin.
Just where it belongs along with the rest of the cummy tissues.
Close the tab.
Close the 87 tabs you have open.
Yeah.
Each of them progressively more aggressive than the next.
The first 27 are every episode of the podcast thus far, and then the rest is porn. Maybe you lost one. Yeah, you lost episode 15 somewhere in the back half. Can't really find it. You'll get to it later. It's cool.
No, I gotta go to this part. This is the one I nutted at the hardest. All right, here we go.
But yeah, no, I have to like for narrative content, I have to sit. And I want to.
Yeah.
I don't have to, but I want to. And it's like, okay, well, I could just put this on the side, but like, what's the point?
Yeah, like people who sit there, like I know a lot of cosplayers who sit there and they turn around and they go, I caught up on this thing, and they're just doing stuff. And I would say that like something like productive, like creating costumes and stuff like that, requires far more mental fortitude and awareness to sit there to not only have like this thing going off in the background and like, either A, I'm just dumb and I'm bad at multitasking, which I'm not, or B, I just maybe I'm just doing something wrong here because there's so many people who do that and they just consume media passively.
See,
and I feel like that's such a weird thing to do with particular media. I feel like, you know, 2 dudes sitting on a couch or whatever the fuck you're sitting on.
It's called an ottoman.
That's an ottoman?
Yeah.
Oh, well, do ottomans open up?
This one does.
It's a customizable ottoman.
You can call it a bench.
It's a bench. That's what I've always seen it as. It's a bench that just has
it opens.
Open bench.
It's an open bench.
Yeah, I just don't like even like not narrative. Any show format where it's like there are characters who are engaging in some kind of dialogue that requires attention. I just can't, because it's like I'll miss things that are probably either funny or good or like engaging. It's like, no, that's one of the main reasons why watching and binging stuff is much more of a welcome format for me, because I can literally sit there and either choose to binge the entire series or I can binge it in chunks over the course of the weeks. And then because my thing is always, I don't have to worry about the next one. Even if there's going to be a sequel coming, I don't have to worry about waiting on it and trying to go, oh, I gotta assign some time to it. Like, no, I have the freedom of movement to be like, well, I went through the first 7 episodes today. Now I can set aside a chunk to do the first 7 episodes or the next 7 episodes, and then, or like I did that day, and I was like, okay, I'm going for it. But
yeah. And I guess from my perspective, it's like it's easier for me to be like, it's like, oh yeah, I have time right now, I can do this. Or maybe it's like, oh, I can't catch up on everything, but I have a moment, I can watch this one episode of this one show, because it's like, because you're not setting aside like, okay, I'm going to do 7 episodes today, 7 episodes tomorrow. You're just like, I just need 22 minutes right now. I have 22 minutes. Yeah, I'll watch it. And then, I'm busy. And then I'm not like feeling bad that I dropped it. I'm probably not going to get back to it. It's like, oh no, until next week, my job is done for right now.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty good at waiting on a lot of the shows that I've been like, oh, I'm just going to fucking go to the manga afterwards. I've been really good about not doing that. But yeah, there are also some times like I woke up at like 4 a.m. and then watched Devilman until like 8 a.m. and finished it. Or, Show Bitch was so good, just had to watch the whole thing. I think my favorite ongoing joke I got right now is that I will watch literally anything before I watch Overlord, and it makes Omni furious.
Because Overlord looks so fucking boring.
I like the first 3 episodes, but I don't like sword art because it's a dude in a fantasy world. That's not why I like it.
Yeah.
I like it because it's a big video game. Big shout outs to Kiritos this season, by the way.
Right. Well, the fucking... Well, not only that, but the whole concept of Overlord is it loses itself as an isekai halfway through the fucking series, and it just becomes a story about a skeleton man.
Well, they all do. At a certain point,
after a certain point,
the other world part doesn't matter anymore. At a certain point,
yeah, but I feel like it's so much more when you're talking about the video game aspect of it, and you losing. There's one thing where it's the person physically is a part of this thing, and it makes sense. Or the one, I think I spoke about it in the Discord the other day, where it's the one isekai that makes the most sense, which you don't know is an isekai until the first few seconds of the opening, and you go, oh, it's fucking Ni no Kuni 2, where the president gets fucking blown up in a nuclear explosion, wakes up in another world, and goes, you know what? I don't want to go back. I don't want to deal with whatever's going to be on the other side of that bullshit. I'm fine just doing this.
I think the thing...
That makes so much more sense, because it's even the concept, I don't know, the awful isekai anime you had me watch, where it's
Masters of Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Guardians of Ishkin.
Yeah. Where it's okay, you're physically in another world.
But your cell phone calls through a mirror.
With your cell phone that you're using Wikipedia to basically beat entire armies with. Fucking A.
Yeah.
That show, if it was a comedy, would probably be 10 times better.
I think it is.
No, a real comedy.
One guy thinks it's a comedy on the team. Maybe he just wasn't informed.
Yeah.
Sound design. The guy working on sound design is like, yeah, we're doing a comedy, right?
Yeah, we're doing a comedy.
But nobody laughed. It's yeah, he takes this girl.
No, he will fuck the fox girl.
No,
but it's a joke, right? No, he's going to have sex with her.
So, is the bit that he isn't going to make the girl a slave in exchange for her people's safety?
No, she's going to be a cum dumpster if she doesn't do what he wants.
I'm sorry. What is a bit? What?
Yeah. He's actually just a terrible person.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I watched. We're halfway through Kill la Kill. It's not okay. So me and Pop rewatched all of Gurren Lagann.
Okay.
Because he's like, oh, I want to watch Premiere, and I'm like, if you want to watch Premiere, we should watch the Trigger stuff. and Gurren Lagann I count as it because it's kind of where all their stuff started. Going from Gurren Lagann to Kill la Kill is a bit of a step down.
Well, yeah, because they had a budget.
I was gonna say I don't think that's a controversial thing to say, but I mean like storytelling and like characters.
No,
like,
that they had a budget. I don't think you understand. I mean, I know you do, but I don't think sometimes. I think you don't understand how much just a difference in budget will absolutely just make it so. Like the difference will be so radical. Like it is like Gurren had a budget,
but the thing is,
even if it ran out near the end, it was still like
Kill la Kill is a lot more consistent because there are full episodes of Gurren Lagann where you're like, this was made by like a D team.
Oh yeah.
But no, I'm still really enjoying Kill la Kill. Obviously, the last thing I did was I started reading.
That's dumb.
Reading manga.
It's for nerds.
It is for nerds, and I won't go too much because again, this whole chat is dedicated to that one guy who really loves it when we talk about anime for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Shout outs to him.
He sees you in the comment section, my guy.
I see you. There's only one person commenting. You can't hide. There's no. You can't camouflage yourself in the bushes.
And then every now and again, there's that one guy who's like, "Hey, when's Lau coming back?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know. I hope he's okay.
This has just been a really, really.
I hope he's doing so well.
This has been just a really weird voice I've been doing, guys.
He tried to do the Lyle thing. You hear that?
If I yelled, you'd know. It was really me all along. Red Komi-san, finally.
Who? I'm sorry. Who did we say was your Tyler Durden?
Who is my Tyler Durden? I think it was just like, some dude on a Smash stream.
No. It was the guy you showed me with all the amazing videos, the comedy videos. I was telling you about the Nazi one.
Yeah. I don't remember what his name is.
He was your Tyler Durden, and I was like, and I saw the look on your face of like dismay, and I was like, I meant that as a compliment, but you look really upset. Because
originally my Tyler Durden was some dude with an afro that showed up on a cross tag battle stream during Arc Revo last year.
Oh no.
That was my Tyler Durden, and he sucked. He played Hazama, and he was a bitch. Red Komi-san, it's cute. You all know it's cute. This last chapter was wild. You'll have to read 222 chapters to figure out what I'm talking about.
Fucking Christ.
And then I also read Why Are You Here, Sensei? Because I really wanted to drive home the point that I'm not going to watch Overlord. And it's basically porn. You remember how we saw that, the trailer, and it's like, oh, everything's censored and everything. Oh, it's a wacky sexual thing. This is literally porn. And if you watch the show, which I tried to do, it is literally the whole frame censored for minutes at a time.
So the Blu-ray release is definitely going to get some...
So you're going to want to wait for the Blu-ray release or...
Okay, but so when you say porn, as in, is it to the implication of that one...
Dick happens twice.
Okay, but does dick penetrate?
Yes, twice.
Oh.
But that's twice out of 70 chapters.
That's a really long cooldown time on dick.
Yeah, and they're spaced out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's kind of still like a trip, Everything's accidental.
Why is it always like a trip?
You gotta, dude, listen.
I don't think really no one understands dick physics.
So, no, they don't.
Or vagina physics for that matter. Like
any way that you could accidentally into a sexual situation, it's here. It's here, and there's 2 more volumes that haven't been translated yet. So I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen.
Menkitsu happening is literally like the first episode is I tripped into the pussy.
Oops.
This man is there's one where like for whatever reason this man is pissing in the bathroom and his manager comes up behind him and is like, hey, you gotta do this thing, and he's like, bitch, what? And he turns around and trips and somehow finds his dick in her mouth, and she's like, this is actually not that bad. This is okay, actually. He's like, please stop sucking my penis.
So I really can't stress enough, every possible situation has happened.
Oh my God.
And it's a new teacher every 10 chapters. They literally have something for everybody.
Okay. Well, now here's
there's
where...
a roster.
Yeah, right, but here's what clinches it. Is so if there's penetration, is there nut? Or does he pull out in time? And there's no nut. Nut makes it a porn. Penetration makes it
There's nut.
It
there's
makes
nut,
it softcore.
There's nut, but it doesn't hit its mark.
Okay, what?
You'll have to read the manga.
I
to
guess
find
I'll
out.
have to read the manga.
Anyway, I have another one after Tropical Kiss now. Basically, I got 2 things I can refer
Oh,
to.
so you didn't know about Menkitsu? It's literally the same guys.
No.
You didn't? Well, now you know. It's
No,
the
well,
it's
now
the
I know.
same exact team.
But I read it for the plot. So
Yeah, sure.
Fuck off.
Yeah, like I read Drug Candy from the plot. Actually, I did after a certain point.
Also, I read the one about the Yakuza. It was a house husband. He's cute.
Is that the one where he's like, I need that white sugar granulated? And no, we do not have that.
He means sugar. He's like, yeah, no, I need that granulated white powder. And
Yeah.
she's just like, what? And his wife's like, he means sugar. Where's the sugar? So that's great. That's about everything I did of note.
Cool.
If anything comes up later, I'll keep it to myself because you don't need to know everything.
Oof.
I can keep my secrets. I probably should have kept the teacher one a secret, but it's out.
Listen,
I wanted to share
there's no such thing
very
as shame.
readable piece of media with everybody.
It's like we said. Porn is just far more of an evident, like a huge thing in everybody's life nowadays.
They
It
all wait
funds
till
everything.
graduation to make it official. So good on you, Japan.
Oh wow! Okay, so it's like, oh wow, that's actually forward thinking, which is kind of shitty to say.
No, it's very heartwarming, actually. A lot of the time.
That's
Not for very long, but there are moments.
no, they're legal. Oh, okay, good.
Yeah,
Good.
sometimes the titty gets stuck in a train door, and then they're like, but then it's 2 chapters later, you're like, aw.
I think the most insane shit is when penis somehow comes out. Oh no, it's Kanojo x Kanojo x Kanojo, which is the one where it's literally just a dude shows up, and this is a porn. A dude shows up to I guess some stepsister's house, and he's on a train. And it's that casual, apparently incredibly specific Japanese train situation where she's by the door and he's behind her, and they keep rubbing up on each other, and he gets hard.
I really can't stress enough. Every single situation that you could think of is in this.
Damn it!
This comic. Yeah, no. Like you won't think of one.
Right, but this one, she genuinely was like, well, okay, and now if you're saying everything, she goes, well, it's not going to go away by itself. And
no,
he's like,
it's never nothing like that ever.
Yeah.
happens.
Okay.
It is
so
accident.
in this one, she goes for like pure virgin and then into, well, it's not going to go away by itself. And he's like, what are you talking about? And then she just jerks him off.
What is it with hentai where it's like the girl's always like, well, I guess I just have to solve this problem.
Also, in order to
this
solve,
started as a gross inconvenience.
Yeah.
And I don't want to deal with it anymore. So let's just get it. Like, there's no one else here. I could leave, but.
This one specifically is so much stranger because after the deed is done, she looks at her hands and it goes into chibi form, and she's like, "Do I put this in my mouth?" And he goes, "Eh."
It's like, yeah, what do I do with my hands? Yeah. I don't know what to do with my hands. Hey Phil, what did you do with your hands?
I played video games actually.
No way.
So in the unfortunate span of time from our last podcast to now, I've become gainfully unemployed, which has been kind of shitty, but we're making ends meet. We're good to go. Still working on getting some stuff. But in the time that I've had all this fucking free time, I've been playing more games, obviously.
Yeah, this dude's been playing Indeed.com.
Been learning to code a lot. Working on JavaScript, actually. And there's always a very good feeling in my heart when I sent that one picture in chat, and I was like, yeah, I'm learning how to code, and as you declare the variable X as being anime and Y as titty, and you combine them and it's anime titty. Oh, see, if coding was just that, where it's just finding ways to combine anime and titties, I would learn it. Heartbeat.
Well, I got
which is why
I got
it's
some
been
good
so
news. Is at the very end of the tunnel, that could be your end goal.
Yeah, that's great.
It could happen.
It could happen. I've been doing that on the side just to have another skill set to just be like, hey, give me a job. And playing the 2 main games that I've been dedicating, or 3 main games I've been dedicating time to have been the games as a service kind of mantra. So I got Borderlands 3. Destiny 2 came out. My friend got me Shadowkeep, and I played a little bit of I played Shadowkeep all the way to the end, and I got Iceborne. So out of all three of them, Iceborne is my favorite. Yeah, shit. All three of them, Iceborne is my favorite. All the changes for Iceborne's weapons, like the way the weapons work, it just feels like the definitive version of Monster Hunter World now, where it's like, okay, everything is fun. Like, it's not just like where, okay, the switch axe is a cool idea and concept, but it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Now, like with a lot of the buffs and stuff that have been going on with the switch axe, I've actually been having a hard time, like going, okay, I'm not as good with the switch axe, but goddamn it, it's so fun. Mm-hmm. But there are just some monsters that I'm not good at with the switch axe.
I don't think anything could ever make me not play Charge Blade. Like, I don't think there's a single weapon.
Oh no, and they made Charge Blade really fucking good. Like, Charge Blade was already amazing. Now they just made it to where it's like, instead of having to, because the biggest problem with Charge Blade, I felt like, is in order, like, the optimal play style has always been build up for the big explosion, then do big explosion. Mm-hmm. But now what they did was they wanted to incentivize, like, okay, use all of the modes. Like, every single weapon balance change in the game has been like, you are using the weapon the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And they're all so smart. Like, for Charge Blade specifically, you can put all of that, like, at, like, amped elemental damage into the Charge Blade itself. So you're using the actual, like, Charge Blade portion of it where you're, like, when it's, like, in the axe form.
Yeah.
And you're doing a lot more attacks with it, as opposed to just doing that giant fucking fuck off
swing and then change back to sword and shield. And
so you have that option, and it's way better. The Clutch Claw edition, which essentially is just a grapple hook, that the grapple hook now can hook onto enemies. And
that's crazy. That must have taken like decades of in-universe development to get it to not attach to the one tree branch in every world.
Well, you know, what's always confusing too is that I had to retell my friends that they had no idea that Monster Hunter is actually a post-apocalyptic world. Like, Monster Hunter takes place in the post-apocalypse. Like, it's not like it's not like it started off that way. No, like there was a futuristic society that happened, and it got fucked up by monsters.
No, we've never seen that.
No, I would love to find a way to get that, because the great dragon weapon is like easily one of the grossest and coolest things, which is literally just it's a bunch of dead dragons that are like zombified into a giant form, and it has to keep feeding on more people.
Yeah, that's right.
And then there's Fatalis, who is in one of the games, and I want to see Fatalis as his legend was, in that he got really pissed off at the hunters, so for killing everybody and wearing them. So he started killing hunters and wearing them.
We've talked about this. Yeah. Monster Hunter's dumb.
It's so dumb.
Then why is the story about fighting a big rock?
Because
why did they make that
because Monster Hunter World story is about fighting global climate change.
Well, who gives a fuck?
Literally every single fucking monster in there. Like, Nergigante is like the flagship monster from Monster Hunter World. Nergigante's whole thing is he's fighting global emissions being caused by whatever fuck off monster is coming in. In the last one, it's Xeno'jiiva, who is the big bad, and in this one, it's Sharish-Valda. And Sharish-Valda's design is fucking nuts. It was like, at first it's a rock monster, and it's like huge, and you're like, okay, that's kind of intimidating. And then he breaks off the rock monsters, and his like wings are hands, and they're like spindly, like, and they're terrifying. And it's like, he's such a, and the worst part is like the eye tracking. For whatever reason, they introduced eye tracking for him specifically, but the tracking doesn't go on the player. It follows the camera. So Sharish-Valda is staring at you the entire time.
That's spooky.
It's very spooky.
Combine that with the hand wings are my least favorite design element ever.
Yeah.
I hate them. They're gross. They're disgusting.
They're
it wasn't
very
cool when
disgusting.
Sasuke did it.
No, it's supposed to look gross here, and it is. They knocked it out of the park. He looks really intimidating and terrifying. Yeah. I'd say he's one of the best designs that I've seen in Monster Hunter by far. Like, I think a lot of the more outwardly fucking crazy designs are some of my favorites, and he's really good. And now that I'm finally we're in that part of Iceborne where it's like the end game actually has more of a kind of a direction now.
Yeah.
Whereas before it's like you kind of were just like fiddling around. So the way they did end game in this one is There is now a new biome, which is a combination of all of the separate maps. Apparently, they're doing a lot of changes to it because the way that it works is really stupid. So when you're in a forest biome, by the way, there are particular monsters that are, key to it, and you have to level it up by going around, getting tracks, but instead of sitting there going back and forth through the hub, the idea is that you're constantly there.
Yeah.
And so you're always like, if you want to hunt something, it's in the area. You just go back out to it. Yeah. It's trying to like make gameplay
because that's
more
100%
intuitive.
The reason I dropped that game is because they did another like go find tracks on every biome.
Right.
I was like, I'm not doing that.
Right.
I don't wanna do that.
But instead of sitting there and making it like doing that, it's like, okay, now you just like now the monsters are just in around.
Yeah.
And it's like so it's like trying to like make you like stuck in the open world portion of it, and like actually being like, okay, just fuck off and go explore, which is cool. Apparently, I didn't know this. If you do anything in other biomes, the other ones level down. So you run the risk of actively fucking up your progress in another biome by focusing on one biome for too long.
See,
which is stupid.
See, I almost think the inverse would happen because I feel like if you over-hunted one biome, then it should go down. Whereas if you just let it kind of develop and you were in other biomes, and when you went back to that, and you're like, oh shit, I haven't hunted anything here.
Right.
Everything's really strong because it's just been eating each other. Mm-hmm. And it's like, oh fuck. Now, and then that's the balancing act. So keeping it down.
Right. No, so that's not how they're doing it. What they're doing it is basically like the higher level of the biome, the stronger the monster that comes out.
Yeah.
And that's how they introduced tempered monsters now.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with that is that now it means that you really have to only focus on one subset of creatures to get whatever you want out of it, and then fuck off to another biome, and you can't. There's like no healthy relationship back and forth with it. So I think that like they've come out and like officially said like I could be wrong. This could be 100% wrong, but as I've been told, like things will level down. And they have come out and said, like, during one of their last, they have directs now, essentially, for Monster Hunter. And they've said, like, yeah, we're not entirely happy with it either. So we're going to work on a lot of things with it. And it's good to know that they're still working with it. And Rajang just came out. He's fucking wild. He's just a big fuck-off gorilla monkey.
Well, it is cool to see the Capcom.
He was trying to fucking straight face that. Say it.
I was going to say, it's cool to see the Capcom team taking notes from a real RPG series and using that to try to make Monster Hunter better, even if it didn't work perfectly, because they didn't copy it wholesale. In Hyperdimension Neptunia, right?
Oh my fucking God.
Every nation has shares. And as you do missions in one nation, the shares in that nation will go up, but the shares in the other nation will go down.
That's a favor system.
And that'll prevent your progress in obtaining certain items and equipment. And also the kind of quests that you can earn. And to get the best ending, you got to balance everything out.
Wow.
So maybe, hey, Capcom.
I had no idea.
Let me take some notes. They've been working on that for a while.
I'll murder you. In your sleep.
Nah, do it while I'm awake.
All right.
So I know why it happened.
Oh, this was the one. Stab.
Like, really? It was the Neptunia one, huh? All right.
I can't kill you for an off-stream joke. It wouldn't be funny otherwise.
Well, but I was hoping it'd be a better one. Give me until the end of the podcast. We'll see what we got.
So I played Destiny 2. Destiny 2 New Light came out, which is the free-to-play portion of it, which essentially told everyone who's playing Destiny 2 beforehand to go fuck themselves, because essentially it means that the way that New Light works is, for whatever reason, if you start a new character on New Light, that character starts off in the Destiny 1 starting location and starting mission. So you do that, you get to the tower, and then the game goes, okay, go do stuff. Okay. And it starts you at the max power level of whatever the last expansion was. So everyone gets a free pass. And essentially the way that New Light and Destiny 2's system now works is the soft cap is 900, start at 750. Okay. But now every single activity has like a marker underneath it that goes, this will get you some kind of loot that will level you up. Every single fucking activity.
This sounds a lot like every single time I've sat down to try out one of these Korean MMOs. It is a Korean MMO.
by and large. It is that same
That's
Asian MMO
exactly
feeling.
what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Is that
Where it is basically now we just hand you the levels. Now you get to the soft cap.
Yeah.
And the grind from like 950 to 960, which is the cap right now, is considerably harder, but not as hard as people are making it out to be. So that's it. It's not a change on things. It's just like such a hard reaffirmation of how easy it is to do anything in Destiny 2 now.
Yeah.
Where like progression is to a point like it doesn't even feel good anymore. But the mechanics are still fun, right? There's still stuff
good
happening.
to shoot gun.
Yeah.
Shoot gun and jump.
It's also very strange because it's like if you happen to have the content, like you have the key, the unlock key for Shadowkeep, you can do the content. But if you don't, then you can go to the world.
Hang out on the
You
moon.
can see people doing certain content that you're not doing.
Yeah. You should.
But you can't do it.
You should have.
You should have bought. Yeah, you should have given them the money. So Shadowkeep is people have been referring to it as a smart reusage of assets, and it is, I guess, a reusage of assets. And the general concept is, they've been building up towards. This is the first iteration of like the big bad that we've ever seen.
That's crazy. It's been 2 games.
It's
like
been
10
2
years.
games. So
we're
we've
almost
only
done with
we've
the
only
decade-long
been
game.
Right. So we've been seeing like the sub races and stuff like that. Like obviously people who are practitioners and followers of the darkness that did all that shit. Like
Cool.
the anti-traveler.
What are they called?
They're the darkness.
Yeah, but like what are they actually called?
Oh, the followers?
No, like the big bad.
No, the darkness.
Yeah, I know they're dark, but what are they actually called?
It's called the darkness.
Oh, cool. How much is the budget on that game?
Yeah, I mean it's well, I mean that's been established pretty firmly.
Yeah, it was.
But we haven't.
I
seen...
thought that was like an established placeholder name until they came up with something.
No.
Okay. Well, that's cool.
It's literally always been the light versus the darkness.
Yeah.
So the Traveler is that big fuck off moon, and now there is a pyramid, a dark pyramid that like turns your ghost into it possesses your ghost and makes him say silly stuff to you. So that has just been sitting there dormant on the moon for years now. Apparently, it's decided to come back up, and it is the way that they've decided to frame the missions out is it's making you relive nightmare scenarios by going back and playing Destiny 1 missions all over again. So
man, well, if you think about it, that is probably the most nightmarish scenario
fucking
they could
scenario.
introduce.
Yeah.
So
on top of all of that, the main grind for the end game of this, like the finishing of the game, is get these armor pieces. Once you do those armor pieces thing, you go into the pyramid, and that's when you fight all of like the big sub bosses from Destiny 1. And then the thing ends and you get to the Garden of Salvation, as they've called it. And a version of you, a Dark Link version of you, shows up and starts talking to you. Suddenly your character has a voice again.
Okay.
So they got that budget back. And he's like, hey, who are you? And he's like, oh, don't you know? I'm your salvation. And the mission ends. And you spawn back on the moon.
And you go back to doing your kart races or whatever you do.
So when I talked to my friends about this, they were like, oh, well, that's because they're going to continue the storyline like for free now. And I was like, that wasn't an ending. Wait, there's no more mission?
I was going to say...
Like, no. It just literally hits you with a quote-unquote, like a fucking cliffhanger that just happens in your head.
Yeah.
And it just like it spawns you back on the moon, and it's like, well, I guess you just go level up.
That's like the macro level of my problem with most MMOs, where it's like you're doing a quest line. It's like, okay, we're about to fight the final boss. We're in the final area, but I really just want to go rearrange my apartment like right now. But you can still go back and then finish that quest line. Whereas
okay, but this is a little different. Yeah, like
this is like this is the stopping point now.
Yeah.
It's like, nope, this is the intended point. You just go back to dressing
There's
up
no
your doll.
credits. There's not even a credit scene.
Yeah.
The DLC just ends. And they go, we're going to continue the story at a later date.
Cool.
Which is like,
just
Okay, that'd be fine if it had an ending.
yeah.
Now, I'm assuming that just so like the way that they've been doing it is that there are for something that they say is like, oh, there's like mainline content behind this stuff. They put it. I think that the raid is story content as well.
Yeah.
Because the raid takes place in the Garden of Salvation, which
Yeah.
is like the place that you were in.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what the story behind it is, but I've found myself to be very disenfranchised from the whole experience. Like,
I feel like, yeah, in a game like that where it's like you're expected to now keep playing, every single quest line should probably end with at least you going back to base and being able to go back to base.
mm-hmm.
Like, you don't have to wrap it up. You can leave a cliffhanger, but you should also be like, whoa, that was a crazy thing in my head. I wonder what that meant on the ship. Going back to base, so that now when you go do your dumb space grinding,
at least show me a cutscene of me waking up on the moon.
that's it. That's it.
That's
That's
all
you
you
have to
need.
do. Yeah,
And it's not going to take that much more money.
yeah. Well, that's
It was
what happened.
in-engine. It wasn't like a fucking rendered cutscene. It was
Yeah.
an in-engine cutscene. And you're going
Yeah,
to
you
end
just
on
copy
that?
and pasted my model.
Yeah.
Yeah. Guess
Like,
what? Duke Nukem can look at himself in the mirror in like 3D. Who gives a fuck? Yeah, great.
Oh,
Lot
it's
of
so
effort.
bad. So I feel so bad because my friend bought it for me. He's like, yeah, I want people to play with. And thankfully, like the
Well,
group that
I don't
I
feel
put him
bad
with.
because he didn't buy it for me. So Destiny 2 sucks.
Wow. Okay. Oh, and cross saves there. So now I'm playing it on the PS4, but the way it works is because of course it does. So I have all of the expansion, every expansion you can own on Destiny 2 is
Yeah.
on my PC version. I have none on the PS4 version.
Yeah, so when you log into
So-
that game, it just says, I'm sorry, you can't
So no,
play.
I can use items from the expansions. I can't get more items on the PS4.
Can you do the expansion
No,
stuff?
I can't do the expansion stuff. So there's particular
So what do
armor
you
pieces
do?
and weapons that you can get, but those weapons on the loot table apparently just get cut off.
No, but I mean, can you go to the moon and do a moon
No, you can
quest?
go to the. You can. Well, no.
No.
You can go to the moon.
You can hang out on the moon.
And there's public events and stuff you can do.
You can like do an emote. You could do a little dance in a crater, and like that's it.
But like the actual missions, no.
No.
Like open world content you can do,
Well,
but the actual missions, no, you cannot do.
maybe sometime in the future that'll be a problem that will be fixed. Maybe.
No.
No, it won't.
No,
Actually,
because
no,
it's
because
not
the
going
way
to be
they're doing
fixed.
it.
This is it. This
Yeah,
is the way they're
now
doing
that
it.
Yeah, because the way they have their account system. Nope, never mind.
I just
That'll
think
never
that
get fixed.
Destiny 2, as much as I enjoyed the time with it, mainly because I was playing with the friends, is just not the game for me.
Yeah.
I think that I've given it enough times,
think you
enough
have to.
tries to sit there and be like, maybe this time. Nope. I am very much. I've pedaled the metal. I've gone to the end game. I've seen raids.
Yeah.
Raids are the best thing in that game, by and large. Raids are going to be the best thing in that game. The amount of work to get there, I'm not really too jazzed about. Because I didn't talk about the worst part, which is the competitive aspect of it, which I'm not going to go into because we would be here forever.
Okay.
So, whatever. Competitive sucks. It is a necessary part of it. That sucks.
Yeah. Well, Bungie's never made a competitive shooter before, so I understand.
Yeah,
why
I
they'd
know.
struggle
It's
with
weird. I don't think that they have a history with anything.
They should
like
definitely
that.
call up those guys at 343. See what they're doing.
Oh, for Halo?
Yeah.
Yeah. They should teach those guys how to, I think that Bungie learned a lesson from them.
343 should really teach Bungie how to make a space shooter.
Oh, man. That'd be super cool.
That'd be neat. They could like collaborate on something.
It'd be really cool if Bungie like turned around and maybe did something for Halo once or twice.
It's
That'd be
about
nice.
time Xbox
Maybe 3
got
times.
some exclusive content.
Yeah. My heart hurts.
There it is. That was the one. Oh no, my leg's asleep. I can't run.
Borderlands 3
Borderlands 3.
is a video game.
It's a futuristic shooter.
I don't care for it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Do you still have it?
Yeah.
Can I try it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Because I don't know, I like it. I like Borderlands 2 enough. I like it enough.
It is better than Borderlands, like any of the Borderlands games. It is more fun than any of the Borderlands games.
Yeah, the writing's better. No? Okay. Well, I didn't expect that.
I don't know what's happening. I know what's happening in the storyline. I don't care.
Yeah.
I actually
That's
gave
a
a
very
shit
different
during.
thing
I
than
actually
Idle.
gave a shit about the Borderlands 2 storyline because I thought it was really interesting. The stuff that they establish in lore in this universe is literally, so you know how like the siren thing is such a big thing.
Yeah.
Apparently, you can just give people the ability to be sirens now.
Yeah. I mean, you got to have one in every party. At a certain point, you got to start questioning how important.
Right,
being
but
a
there's
siren
only supposed
really
to be
is.
like 6 sirens in the entire universe, and it just
Oh.
feels like they're just they're just changing them out.
How's that live action lady doing? She's still live action?
Well, live action lady was Lilith because she was a siren.
Oh.
So the idea about live action,
I
is
just
that,
want to know if there's a live action lady that talks
yes,
to you.
there's 2.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Dang.
So the live action Lilith is in
Hope
there.
Randy Pitchford lets them
and
out
then
soon.
and then live action, what's her fucking name? The crazy doctor lady from 2.
Mad Moxie?
No. God, I forget
The
her fucking name.
doctor?
She's such a pivotal character too.
I thought the doctor was a dude.
No. There's like a researcher.
Oh, I don't know.
Dude, maybe chat knows.
Tiny Tina.
No. Tiny Tina's there. She's not tiny anymore.
Oh, she's Tina.
She's literally is just Tina.
They should have called her Medium Tina.
Medium Tina.
That's a missed opportunity. Fuck
No.
Borderlands.
Tannis, thank you.
Tannis?
Yeah.
Oh, she's Tina Tannis now.
Do you care about the storyline at all?
Absolutely not. I know nothing about Borderlands. I know
Okay.
there's Vault Hunters. I don't know what the vault is or what's in it or why I should care. Is it a gun? Is it a cool gun? Is it money?
So the vaults,
magic?
The vaults apparently have all the vaults have monsters, and the idea behind the storyline is these 2 like sirens show up. One of them happens to be a guy, which is also breaking the fucking rules of
It's
the game.
not. It's actually what a siren is not.
No, it's literally the opposite.
Yeah.
Apparently, they were like either manufactured or something happened. I forget.
Yeah.
I don't care. They had the power to drain abilities from entities, just anyone in general. Whatever power that they drain is theirs. Okay. So they can do it from other people or mainly sirens. So their whole thing is they're going around into vaults to find the vault monsters that are like, quote unquote, hiding guarding the treasure that's inside of the vaults, which are guns.
Of course. What else would you guard?
So their intention is to suck out the power of every vault monster in the universe and just become like. Apparently, there is a giant. Oh, they revealed at the near the end of it, Pandora is actually an entire vault. It's not like the planet is a vault. So because there is the monster is the planet, which you think is way cooler, and it should be way fucking cooler.
It's
and it's just
than every
not.
other piece of media that's happened in.
Lost Planet 2 has the best fucking form of that.
Never played Lost Planet 2. Still know nothing about that game. Trying to remain pure for the eventual playthrough.
God. Well, I'd love to do that sometime soon. It's only $10, I think. You should buy it today.
It's crazy that we played that other third-person shooter cooperative experience before Lost Planet 2.
I didn't know you didn't. You never told me until literally just now you never played Lost Planet 2.
I've 100% told you in the past. We've talked about this a lot. Probably on podcast.
I may have forgotten it because
did.
I can't believe you would do that.
Well, apparently the game's not good enough to remember.
Wow, go fuck yourself. You are really just... He's trying. He's trying.
You forgot I didn't play it. I thought that'd be more important.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, no. Everything I know about Borderlands comes from Tales from the Borderlands, which was a genuinely good game.
So that guy's in there.
Yeah, no, he's
not.
Yeah,
no, he's not.
Troy Baker's not there.
Yeah. So people, characters from that universe are in there as well. There's a whole segment on being, helping Atlas out.
Yeah.
Didn't care for that either. Was he, in Tales of Borderlands, the main character, was he...
I think he becomes the head of Hyperion.
Was he super skittish?
What do you mean? I mean, kinda. He was like a...
Was he a big pussy bitch?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
But
That's keeping care.
But with the bravado. He had fake bravado, but if you challenged it at all, he would just crumble.
Okay, so that is, I guess, keeping within character then.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know, how they played him, so I was like, is this his character? Is this the character people really enjoyed?
Yeah.
Okay, well, he's kind of shit.
No.
I didn't...
But he's also a telltale character, so he kind of becomes however you play him.
So I wouldn't say that Handsome Jack's writing was better. It was just way more interesting than these two who are literally Let's Players.
Finally,
their
representation of my culture.
I guess the entire joke behind the two is that they are streamers who are really violent. because they stream them going around and like killing people, and they have like you pay for like a their sub with Iridium thing, and you get like a special thing, and Penn and Teller's in it, and they're also part of the stream. There's a lot that just happens in Borderlands 3.
Penn and Teller, wow.
Yeah.
What a get. 2019. Cool. A lot of Penn and Teller the crossovers there. I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. People.
Penn X Teller.
I was really, yeah. I was playing before the sequel, or before the pre-sequel, or whatever.
Oh my fucking God.
And I was like, man, what would make this experience way better? 2 magicians that people tried to fool.
One of them isn't even fucking able to speak.
I can't believe they got Teller's voice actor for this. Not Teller's voice actor. Because he's so clearly dubbed in every performance.
Oh my God, I hate it.
How did they get Penn and Teller? But it's like, no, Troy Baker, you're too expensive. No, Claptrap.
No, because there's a union thing.
Oh,
it's not even. I don't even think it's like expensive anymore. It's literally they don't want to use union.
Oh, that's fair. Penn and Teller aren't union.
No,
they're freelance magicians.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know, because like he's not the only one. So there's like a bunch of other like prolific voice actors that are not getting work back because they're just part of that same union that Troy Baker's a part of. Because they unionize like smart people, but game developers are trying to fucking
union.
Yeah, well, they're trying desperately to sit there and like quote unquote punish that, but there's still people who want to use them, so they're losing a lot of traction in that area.
Yeah,
especially for someone like Take-Two and fucking Gearbox, or mainly the heads at Gearbox, because I'm sure all the developers put a lot of passion into that game. The game is not bad. I want to completely come out and say this. It is not a bad game by any means. I'm just not having very much fun with it.
Yeah.
It is the same way that I feel about a lot of games lately, where it's like, this game is just not for me.
It's well made.
It's well made.
I can understand that this is a well-made game for someone else.
But you know what I'm such a fucking stickler for progression and how progression's supposed to feel in these kinds of games. And for a game that's like all about like crazy weapons, you don't get that many cool weapons until like much later. Mm-hmm. Which is like it was never the case for 1 or 2.
I was going to say, by a couple hours into Borderlands 2, you already have a gun that you can reload by throwing it, and then it's basically a grenade. Mm-hmm.
So you have that, but like a lot of the games are just like silly shoot bangs, and like the alternate firing modes are all kind of the same. Like that's one of the biggest like changes that the game has is alternate firing modes.
I didn't even know that.
And it's like a lot of the like base weaponry has like samey shit. When you get to cool weapons, cool shit happens.
Yeah.
But like, why did it take so fucking long for me to get there? Like, I don't want to put like it's different if you had already set it up as the pacing for the past 2 games like that.
Yeah.
But no, the first fucking thing they do is they try to hit you with like all the crazy weapons at the gate, or not even at the gate, but like you're getting weapons that make you feel more powerful.
Yeah.
Here, it literally is just an uptick in number values, and even then, they're not as good.
I'm going to draw a weird comparison between Borderlands and another game where, like, its main selling point never made any sense to me at all.
Sure.
And that's Ratchet and Clank, where I feel like the big selling point was like, oh, yeah, there's all these wacky, crazy weapons in it, and it's fun to shoot all of them. And it's like, yeah, that might be true, but I kind of just want a blaster that feels satisfying to shoot and does decent damage.
Yeah.
I don't really want 2 handguns that fire water balloons and then explodes when I throw them. I kind of just want a gun that shoots good.
If you can make a gun be wacky and really good, you've made a good gun.
Do you want to know a wacky gun I really liked, but I understand why we'll never see one again? The auto pistol in Titanfall 1 is batshit fucking bonkers. Mm-hmm. It's just going to hit. Point the gun anywhere. It's
one of the most fun segments in Titanfall 2. Like, when you get the auto pistol with BT's core and you're running off that ship that's exploding and just smart pistoling every motherfucker there.
I should finish that game at some point.
Yeah. What?
I stopped after the time travel mission.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I know. I just never went.
You didn't have that emotional moment where BT dies?
No. Well, now I don't need to. Thanks.
Yeah. That's what you get.
But yeah. You know what gun I really like? Dante's Coyote A, because he fires it so hard it keeps him in the air. That's fun. I don't need a gun that's like a boomerang and then the boomerang creates drones. I don't want it. You know what I like about Ratchet and Clank? I like that he swings around a big wrench. I like hitting things with a wrench that feels good.
I want to restate that I do want that, but I want that good. I don't want it to be like gimmicky.
Yeah.
Like if it is a useful gimmick, I want it. No, if it is just a gimmick, fuck off.
It's like no, but I get like and you know Ratchet and Clank especially. I use the stupid weapons. Like I used vacuum cleaner and you shoot it back out, and I was like, oh, that's kind of fun. And then I switched off it immediately. I'm like, that's for somebody else that wants to play the game worse, just not as responsive. Or
yeah, that's
not
what I'm saying. Like if you make these gimmicky weapons not good, no one's gonna fucking use them.
Yeah,
that's why like we make fun of the dubstep cannon from Saints Row, from Saints Row, but it did a lot of damage.
Yeah.
So like when I had
sword
it,
was a long-reaching melee weapon.
It worked.
It got the job done.
So like if you want a gimmicky weapon, make it fucking good.
Yeah.
So,
that's it.
I co-op is fucked. Co-op is fucked because of course it is.
So the split screen stream is not going to happen.
Well, split screen co-op apparently is just outright broken on PS4.
Then we definitely have to do it.
Yeah, and co-op in general, the latency is so bad. I think they're working on it. I haven't played it since like the launch week. But when I was trying to play co-op with some friends on there, it was so noticeable. It was insane. Like they were seeing enemies I wasn't seeing, and then there was damage being taken that I didn't know was there.
Oh well, that's good. Not only
like we're not talking about like frame stutters. We're talking about actual drops.
I was gonna say not only is loot instanced per player, but so is enemies and bullets and damage.
Yeah. Hit scan? No, it's fucking hit scanning your latency.
It's like No Man's Sky. Everyone's kind of playing a single player game, but you might run into another player.
Actually, no. No Man's Sky is just multiplayer now.
Well, now, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Fuck, we gotta find.
No Man's Sky got fixed.
No Man's Sky turned it around.
Apparently, it
sucks. I hate.
Apparently, it's a really fun game now.
That's garbage.
Yeah, it sucks.
Fucking Joe Danger head ass.
All Sean Murray needed to do is have a little bit of a freak out and came back.
Yeah.
Bright as day.
All Sean Murray had to do is delay the game and then release this.
No, it won't work. Where's the money?
That's true. Where'd it go?
So yeah, I out of all of those games, I've been playing that and got my hands on a PS2, a legitimate PS2.
Oh. I was gonna say
I got my hand on a couple of PS2 titles.
Yeah. I may have also gotten my hands on a PS2 title that we might play for Halloween.
I must be just a zoomer, but I really just kept going back, and I was like, I'm just having so much more fun.
They don't make games like Sonic.
They don't make games like Sonic Riders anymore, man. Actually, I started up a playthrough of Xenosaga Episode 1, and I forgot how much I actually do really like that game.
No,
it's mainly because the cute anime protagonist, the girl that you play, is so cute, but also just fiercely like. She's just a researcher that has a gauntlet that explodes shit.
Yeah.
And she doesn't care what gets in her. There's a section where you don't know anything about Xenosaga, do you?
It took me until earlier this year to find out it was a turn-based RPG.
Yeah.
I just saw the box art and thought it was an empty case. That was worth $80.
So the whole thing is like there is an overarching story that I don't know much about because I only played the first one like up to a certain point.
Yeah.
And I just forgot about it because I was moving and I lost my copy.
Mm-hmm.
But right now it takes place actually a couple thousand years before Xenogears. So in Xenosaga, there is an alien entity known as the Gnosis, they are literally just aliens that are from another dimension, but can fuck you up in your dimension.
Oh, cool.
So when you shoot at them, you can't hit them, but they can fuck you up.
That's my biggest fear.
Yeah, like it sucks. They're like literal ghosts that can just kill you no matter what. So you're flying to the cosmos on a warship, and you play as Shion Uzuki? Yeah, Shion Uzuki. And she's part of the research division developing Cosmos, who is a anti-gnosis weapon, who apparently has the ability to
it's
kill.
A sex bot. Just
It's
say
a sex bot. It's a sex bot that can kill aliens.
Sure. Fine. As
And
they
the
do.
entire time she's like testing it out, and she's like, I don't want. Apparently, like a few years back when Cosmos was like alive, she showed up and just started killing everybody. And she's like, fuck it. And
That's rough.
and Shion's like, I don't want that to happen again, so we're just gonna keep testing on this thing. So like the big thing is like she's trying desperately not to use Cosmos at all. And finally she gets to a point where like the Gnosis show and they invade. Like they just find him in the space because they pick up a fucking giant like space relic.
Yeah.
That's terrifying, and it's gold, and people have been touching it and just vanishing. And they're like, well, there's only like 4 people KIA. We have no idea where the fuck they are. They're KIA as far as we're concerned. Don't touch that fucking thing. Yeah, and people keep trying to touch the fucking. He's like, and there's this one like military dude who's like, please stop doing that, idiot. Yeah. Fuck. And like the Gnosis fucking finally show up, and like Shion keeps having like these weird visions because of the relic, and I forgot how like as much as they try to talk about like really strong issues, but it has that like old school anime problem of like not bad dubs, but not great dubs, and there's something really
I think the PS2 era of English voice acting in video games might be probably one of my favorite things of all time.
It's so good. It is there's something so much more like
it ranges from bad, like awful, to passable.
Yeah,
and doesn't go any higher than that.
Shion's incredibly passable, but like she's so cute and just so fiercely like determined of just like. Because, like, there's the shit will happen, and it's terrible shit. Like, she's going around the corridor. She's been seeing dead bodies of her friends all over the place. Mm-hmm. And since you can't fight the Gnosis, the whole thing is like, okay, they're still corporeal. So, like, there's this, like, as you're going through the section, you're, like, turning things on and off, like, just to fuck with people.
Yeah. Like,
you accidentally turn the breach doors on, and, like, the breach doors come on, and the worker's like, hey, don't fucking do that. Now I'm going to be in trouble. Can you turn it back off at least? You turn it back off, and there's a security guard just fucking, like, panicking on the other side of it. Just like, what the fuck? And there's, like, just, like, little things that you turn off someone watching idols, like, play music, and he's like, I was watching that. But it's, like, a really cool way of, like, showing you, okay, as you're walking through, I'm distracting the Gnosis using these items.
Yeah.
And it was like, this is super cool, actually. Like, I miss when games would just naturally do this, like, through, like, exploration, where you're like, oh, I wonder what that's going to be. I mean, it's a big fuck off red button. I get it, right? But, like, it's a fuck off red button that has, like, interesting things being done with it.
Yeah.
And finally, like, the whole idea is like, oh, shit, okay, not only is Cosmos waking up and hacking into the ship, but now the Gnosis are attacking, and everyone's dying. And we're all in giant mechs, and the mechs are doing nothing. And they introduced this fucking one character named Virgil, who is a piece of shit. He's apparently like a drug addict that hates Realians, which are like the androids of this world.
Can I just say how much more interesting this is to hear about as opposed to Destiny, just by adding proper nouns?
Yeah.
And naming things.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, the darkness has come and we, the resistance.
Yeah.
If another game comes out and you're called the resistance, we'll lose my fucking shit.
Yeah.
The evil. Those are the bad.
That's the bads.
The good.
It's literally what it is, though.
Oh my god. You must be him. Protagonist. You're the protagonist. Oh no, antagonist has come.
I actually would play a game.
Oh lord, it's the inciting incident.
What if, but like, you could do something like that, but make it meta? That would probably be really cool.
You'd have to literally go that far.
Yeah.
And call things the inciting incident.
No, you have to go that far.
Because anything less gets added into the next Destiny expansion. So like...
So anyways, you're doing maintenance on the Shion's doing maintenance on the Realians, who are like just little androids that apparently during a war they were like given rights after like all the war was done and they were given rights like humans and shit like that. And there's this guy who just fucking hates him. He just hates the shit out of him.
I can't believe that
and
these toasters get rights.
Yeah, and he comes up and he's like, these fucking idiots, and she's like, they're not like items, they're people. And he goes, yeah, big girl, big fucking super smart researcher girl. Why are they called weapons grade then? And she's like, and he goes, hey, how about that button that just turns them off and turns off their free will?
Because it was derogatory to refer to some as high grade, some as perfect grade. Where does real grade fit in? Do you imagine, hey, can I see your ID? You can't get into this bar unless you're real grade. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
High grade.
High grade, you got to go down the street for that one.
You go Weenie Hut Juniors over there.
So she hits him with that. He hits her with that mix up, and he goes, "Yeah, what about that button you have that takes away their free will?" And she goes, "I know you can turn it off." And she's like, "It's against company policy." He goes, "Yeah, it's against company policy, right? Fuck you." And he just walks away. And she's like, "Fuck."
Oh no, he made a good point.
Yeah, so she walks around the corner. He's trying to like protect people, and he's got regalians in his like mech suit, like because he's like a mech commander dude.
Yeah,
he's got his mech people with him. And they're firing into a hallway. They somehow miss every shot. And instead of sitting there and like pissing her pants, she looks and goes, "What the hell are you? You could have shot me." He goes, "Are you fucking kidding me? Get the fuck." She's spending her time yelling at this man in a mech. He's aiming the barrel of the SMG at her, and she's looking at him dead in the fucking visor. Like, I bet, motherfucker, I bet you will.
Shoot, I'll catch it.
Shoot.
I got the big glove. I'm ready.
And then it does a really two interesting things back to back, where he's trying to fight them, and that's when they introduce Cosmos finally. Like he's trying to fight them, and he can't, and he's like, "Oh well, all my friends are dead. The Regalians are still sitting here, kind of damaged." And he like uses the mech and grabs her, and then takes her console away, and then goes, "I got an idea," and then makes the fucking Regalians like go and kill themselves, and it doesn't work. And the whole time they're having a whole dissertation on like people's rights and shit like that, and it's like this really interesting.
I feel like a
fucking
real douche when you take the thing and you go, "I got an idea," and then it
doesn't work.
Please tell me he dies in that scene.
No, he dies in a better scene. So Cosmos shows up and she starts fucking. She has a thing called the Hilbert effect, which basically throws them into your reality. Like she literally turns it on and it makes it part of our reality, and she starts just murdering fucking Gnosis. So you're going along, and Virgil is like super pumped. He's high on drugs and he's fucking killing things. And he's like getting in front of everybody, and Cosmos is trying to save Shion and just takes her minigun and fires directly into Virgil's back to kill the Gnosis that's in front of him.
Yeah.
And he just dies.
Well, at least he doesn't have to live with the embarrassment.
So Shion goes, "What? Do you know what you just did?" He goes, "He was in my line of fire. Had I tried to save him over you, I would have lost 37.2% efficacy. But if I'd killed him, it had only been a 0.2 drop." And I was like, "This is sick. I'm so on board.
I am statistically, morally more correct."
Yeah. And she's like, "Now, if you want to be dumb and put his death in vain, you can just sit there and cry like a baby, or you can get on the fucking escape pod, Shion." And she's like, and her friend Alan, who's been earlier, he's like, "We gotta go." She's nuts. We gotta go. So I am 100% on board.
Yeah.
Real big problem with my quote unquote legitimate copy of it. Some save points are just broken.
Well, luckily with a legitimate PS2, is not a big problem.
No, not a big problem. So I've been using some
workarounds
with that.
Using some Game Shark magic.
I am 100% back on board with that, and I'm like, God damn, this is a really fun story. Like I want to fucking stream it, but at the same time, there's a lot of cutscenes.
I was gonna say, not a good stream game.
No, there's a lot of cutscenes.
PS2 RPGs are not very good stream games.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of RPGs aren't. Yeah, but that's why some of my most enjoyable streams are stuff from like GameCube, PS2, PlayStation 1, like that era.
Yeah.
It's because there's some kind of weird janky charm to it that going back to it now, like even if it's well made, there's still some jank somewhere. Mm-hmm. You can have a very well made game, but then the graphics and the cutscenes are going to be whack.
Yeah.
And it's a balancing act. Where did you allocate your skill points? I like the ones where no skill points were used. All of them were put into luck. Put all your skill points into luck. Oh, it sold really well. Why?
I cannot wait until we play Illbreed or D2.
Oh no, I got horror game blocks set up. I got the games all picked out.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to go into what I listen to. I listen to more EDM stuff. That's it. Bart B. Moore's amazing. Go listen to him because we have to go into the thing I watched.
Yeah.
And I did it.
Domestic Girlfriend was fantastic.
It was really good. Domestic Kanojo was really good. So I watched Made in Abyss.
Okay.
And I don't know what drove me to watch it specifically. I know I was trying to reorient my sleep schedule for the wedding that happened this weekend. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I need to stay up. It is 7 o'clock. I need to find a way to figure shit out and just, stay up and just enjoy my life. And I was like, I'm going to go ahead. I have all this free time. I'm going to go watch an anime. And I'm just looking and looking and looking. And I remember having a lot of people say two things. Is I would get those targeted ads on Facebook from Crunchyroll that told me about Made in Abyss. Uh-huh. I was winning all these awards. And then the second thing was, oh my God, Made in Abyss is really terrifying. So I was like, I'm immediately on board.
Those are the Phil buzzwords. It starts out good, but then goes horribly wrong.
Yes.
Which is why you really should probably just finish Madoka.
I really should watch Madoka. Because this is basically
horribly wrong.
This is almost, I want to say it's almost like the same exact art style as Madoka. Have you seen Made in Abyss at all?
I don't. Yeah, let me look up that. Yeah, I
look
know
at it.
Saying.
It's almost exactly the same exact art style. It might even be the same team.
I was going to say it might be the same studio. Let's look. Keep going.
So Made in Abyss is a really interesting premise, and the idea was apparently this fuck off hole just exists. Like it like a couple.
I'll go ahead and say I haven't seen this, but I do know enough about it.
Sure, there's like a couple. I want to say it's like either 1,000 or like a couple hundred years. The timing on it was a little wonky for me. But there's this hole that's been on this island and it's existed for quite some time. And a bunch of people have essentially they've cultivated an entire culture around going into the abyss and, kind of training people to become they call them delvers in the manga. I forget what the name was, cave raiders. I think it was in the dub or something like that. And the idea is they go down there and they are trying to come back up and find, any kind of relic they can find in the abyss and bring it back up. And people who are obviously higher in rank get more notoriety and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Red whistle is as low as it goes, and then there's the faded white whistles. People who have literally, it's just they are just little metal white whistles that these guys are the biggest dick swinging people because they go down there and they come back up alive, which
is the biggest thing that you could possibly do is come back.
Yeah, so obviously the biggest thing is okay, it's not just an abyss that you go down and it's oh, there's dangerous stuff down there. It's no, there is some weird fucking curse that depending on the layer, the depth that you're at, when you come back up from said death, and it's not even you have to come back up all the way. It's the moment you start ascending, the very moment you take a step up anywhere in that depth, that part of the curse starts affecting you.
Yeah.
So at the first one, it's dizziness and nauseousness. Second one is an upgraded version of that. Third one's auditory and visual hallucinations and shit like that. Mm-hmm. Fourth one is you start bleeding out of every orifice,
which is a pretty big jump from 3 to 4.
The fifth one's even worse than that, and the sixth one, if you come back from the sixth layer, you lose all of your humanity. You either die or you lose all of your humanity in some way.
That makes me really wonder what the fifth one is. What could possibly be between bleeding out of every orifice and just dying?
Let me go ahead and try to find it real quick.
It's probably bad.
Your
bones turn to goo and your skin turns to leaves. Whatever.
Cave curse shit.
Melt.
And I'm sitting there, and for those of you who don't know, it's got all of this. It's a very cutesy art style. I would say. I like I said. You looked at it. It's very similar.
Not the same studio.
Not the same studio, but it's definitely similar in kind of design to that character.
I see it.
And the idea of it is
we'll call it a Shaft-like.
Yeah. So it follows Rico, little girl who is just, her mom is just one of the coolest fucking white whistles around.
Yeah.
And she, while in her journey down in the abyss, she finds a young robot boy that she names Reg. And she tries to like acclimate him to life up there, and they're doing all fine and dandy, and like 2 or 3 months pass, and one of the cave teams comes back up, and they find the white whistle of her mom's white whistle, and a message. And the message says, "I am waiting for you at the bottom of the abyss." So she gets, in her 12-year-old little head, goes, "I'm going to go do it," and decides that she's going to completely throw all reckless abandon out and just be like, I'm going to go do this thing. Fuck all of you guys. I don't care if I'm 12.
Listen,
Made in Abyss can be described as I'm 12 and what is this?
Being 12 has never stopped any anime child from chasing their dream directly down a bottomless abyss. It's just whatever. I'm 12. Fuck it. I got hot blood.
Yeah.
How warm is your blood? That's how far you get to go down.
And she's an incredibly hot-blooded protagonist. The interactions between her and Reg are adorable and heartfelt on every level. So when the terrifying, awful shit happens to them, it makes you feel so much more worse than I think anything I've ever watched in anime ever.
Yeah.
There is like one of the first things that they encounter on I want to say the second layer is they show up and they hear someone screaming for help, and they're like, "Oh shit, what the fuck?" And she's very knowledgeable. Like she knows everything about the abyss up to whatever was discovered. And she's like freaking out because Reg can hear, and Reg has extraordinary hearing as a robot boy.
Yeah.
He's not affected by the curse at all. He's obviously quote unquote not human. And he's running to it, trying to save her, and she's freaking out, and she's like, wait, and she stops him, and you look over, and there's this fucking monster eating at this body, and it turns around, and it was the one doing the voice, and she says that's a corpse weeper. It uses whoever it was killing, whatever it was killing last, cries of help as a way to get other people to lure it into a trap.
That's layer 2. That's the dizzy.
That's layer 2.
That's the layer where you're dizzy.
So layer.
That's the boat sick layer.
So you find out. By the way, the deeper you go down, they meet someone who essentially tells them, who's another white whistle, and that was already another terrifying experience, because that person brings them into some just crazy I'm gonna kill you scenario, and then they wake up and she goes, "It was a test. You failed." And at the end of it, I was so fucking mad because I was like, this woman is nuts. This woman is fucking terrifying and crazy, and they somehow turn it around to make her one of the best characters. I thought they made me hate her and then love her all in the same fucking episode.
Yeah.
And it was it was so good, but I was terrified for these. Every single step of the way, I was terrified for these kids. I was absolutely mortified because it wasn't a situation where it was oh, Reg is extraordinarily strong. No, yeah, he's really strong, but he's really light. So if anyone hits him, he flies in the opposite direction.
You yeet him.
You can yeet that little motherfucker as far as humanly possible.
Hey, Reg's like a robot, right? He's not affected by the curse.
Yeah.
You just kick his ass down the abyss.
You literally just kick his ass. You can just kick his ass.
What I'm saying is just hey, Reg, go find my mom. You got extendo arms. He can climb.
Yeah, he got extendo arms. So that's how they go on down there. And God damn it. They keep encountering one more terrifying situation until episode 10. And episode 10 is the clinching point of oh fuck, this anime is just too much for me. Because it's it takes every anime situation that can oh, we're gonna get out of this alive, and it hits it with a way grittier and realistic dark tone to it.
Yeah.
To where there's a battle happening in episode 10, and the worst possible thing that can happen does happen. And then it just precedes these events of just horrible, terrible, fucking violent shit happening, because it's the 4th layer, and at the 4th layer you start bleeding from every orifice. So So, I think you can kind of figure out.
Yeah, I've seen. Okay. Yeah,
So
I've seen those scenes. Yeah. It was
okay, so should we go, because it's been like a 2-year anime, should I go into like spoiler territory, or do you want to watch it at some point?
I'm probably still going to watch it at some point. I'd say just, again, it's a 2-year anime. If you cared, you probably looked into it or watched it already. If you don't, then...
So they're watching, so at this point they're trying to fight something, and what this person who they meet tells them is the way that the curse works is not only are the monsters more aggressive, they can see the future.
Oh, good.
So...
Why wouldn't they?
So the reason why I was trying to fuck with you was because these people can literally, like the monsters can literally tell the future. So you're fucked if you don't know what you're doing with down there. And one of these fights, they're fighting a monster that has quills that are poisonous. And the moment it hits you, that poison's going to fucking murder you, like, quick. And everything seems to be going fine until he has, like, a metal umbrella that he, like, deflects the attack, and one of the quills catches Rico in the hand. And she starts, like, getting dizzy and freaking out because the poison starts affecting her. And there's no other way to go but up. So he goes, if I go up, it's going to fucking fuck you up. The curse is going to affect you. And she's like, we have no choice. And he extends her arms, like he screams, and he's like, fuck it. And he just goes up. And he's like, oh, okay, you're fine. And he looks over, and she's like, hey, what's going on? And the curse starts taking over, and her hand starts gushing blood. So the venom starts coming out.
Yeah.
But then everything starts bleeding. Blood starts coming out of her ears. Her eyes fill up with blood. Her mouth is like she's choking on blood. And the entire time the poison's still affecting her, so she's losing consciousness. And Reg has no idea what to do. Yeah, and she is desperately he's like, how do I stop the poison from killing you? Like, what can I do? And she goes, you have to cut my fucking hand off. Well, not cursing, but your kids. Yeah. You have to cut my hand off. So he goes, what? She goes, but you have to break the bone first. So he ties it up, and there's a reason. So they find out later that she specifically told him to do it the wrong way because she still wanted usage of something. Like she wanted her arm still.
Yeah.
So she tells him specifically to break a portion where it's just where her wrist and her hand is going to be. So he does it. He breaks her fucking hand. She screams bloody murder. This is all being voice acted so incredibly well. And it's and I'm just tears are coming out of my eyes at this point. I'm like, what's going on? So he takes this fucking blade and just starts cutting. And she's lost consciousness at this point. And he starts freaking out. He starts cutting. And then he starts getting attacked by insects, and he freaks out. And in that small amount of time, she stops breathing. And he starts just screaming bloody murder, and it's all incredibly tense. And a little bunny girl walks up and goes, "You're really annoying. Shut up." And completely cuts the tension in half. I go, what? And she goes, "I can save her. Take her with me."
Dude, you're so late. I've already broken and cut through half.
Which is what he says, and she goes, "I can save the arm too." And takes him back, and you meet this character who is not comedy relief, but they play her for comedy relief.
Yeah, I hear there's a future episode where she's very much not played for comedy relief.
Well, episode 13 is the last episode.
Yeah,
and it's an hour long. It's about 48 minutes, and it goes through a portion because essentially the episode before that. Well, the first thing is they bring her back to the hut. Yeah. She starts fixing her arm in a splint, and she's like, "Wow, you really fucked her arm up, huh? You did a number to her. She's not in a good place." And he's like, "She wanted me to do it." He goes, "You had no idea." And she goes, "Yeah, that's the wrong way. She definitely told you the wrong way. Was that on purpose?" And he goes, "I guess." And he goes, "Wow, she still wanted to go on the journey. She still wanted to do what she wanted to do. That's crazy. She's a crazy bitch." Yeah. So while they're sitting there, she's gets him to go get some stuff for healing her up, and there's a whole bit about how all the other shit that he brought was just for her dinner, and she's like, "What the fuck?" And what if she died? And she's like, "Oh, don't give a shit. I was gonna be hungry."
The dinner still has to happen.
Literally, I'm still going to be hungry. I'm the one watching her, so you're going to get my dinner. What do I got to tell you? Yeah. And he gets in the hut, and he's like, "Hey, is there someone else here?" Because he hears a bunch of sounds behind a curtain, and he opens a curtain, and there's this terrible fucking thing monster behind it that is like yelling, and it's like making like cute little like cute noises, but like it's also got like body horror like plopping noises alongside it. So it's like a little baby like making a noise, and then like,
oh, good.
So he goes, what the fuck is that? And he's like, oh, and she's like, oh, that's Mitty. That's my friend Mitty. Yeah, this is what happens when the curse like affects you. This is she got brought up from the 6th layer, and this is what happens when you lose your humanity. Then episode 13 happens, and it shows you how that, because like Nanachi is the name of the bunny girl. She was a regular girl, and Mitty was a regular girl, and one of the White Whistles, who is the main bad, I forget his name. He's got a weird German-like name. We can call him Bern from now on. Shows up and he goes, I want to take a group of young kids who are ready to like become, cave dwellers. They want to become heroes. And he takes them all the way down to like fucking layer 5, which is, by the way, at the point of the beginning of the anime, you can't even go like below 400 feet or something. And layer 5 is like well above that.
In the grand scheme of things, 400 feet's not that deep.
No, but like whatever the measurement was.
But yeah.
Yeah, but like so it's just cycling through kids, and Nanachi and Mitty are sitting there, and they're like very like, hey, we're gonna be partners, we're gonna be really cool. And she's been like this like she's an orphan that's never had any friends, and she makes friends.
That's a prime cut to take down to the bottom of the
makes
abyss.
friends with Mitty, and she starts having like she loves her friend. She's very much, it's a very cute like relationship.
Yeah.
And it just Mitty gets grabbed up to go off and do this experiment, and Nanachi follows, and she goes into a room, and Mitty's behind like a door, like a glass tube, and Bird's like, you showed up. Hey, perfect. Hey, here's what we're doing. We're testing the effects of the curse. So, and he throws her into the fucking other tube, and he goes, one side is going to be affected by the curse, the other one's not. It's not, or it's going to be affected like not as much.
I was going to say, yeah.
So we're going to see what happens. So essentially what it is, it's an elevator. So he sends the elevator all the way down to the fucking 6th layer, essentially. It's either the 6th or the 5th layer. I might be fucking this up, but it's definitely like a layer where you come back and you don't get humanity. Sends him all the way down, and Mitty is like on the other side telling Nanachi to calm down, like nothing's, like we're gonna make it out of this, we're gonna find it's really emotional. And then as they keep going up, he brings them up harshly. And then Nanachi starts changing into the bunny girl. That's her little transformation. She starts becoming that. Mitty, on the other hand, is going through a body horror transformation. And she is like, her skin is melting off and it's deforming, and she's like on the other side of the glass, and her skin is warping around the glass, and like her eyes exploding, and blood is like, it is like so intense in body horror that I was so put off by it. I was like, this is the way I showed it to people was like, hey, I just finished watching this, and I put 3 images: an elevator, the Thing, and a black hole. I said this, I just finished watching this anime. Long story short, that's how Mitty became to be, because the entire time when Mitty came back up, Byrne decided that wasn't it. He's going to try to kill her, but he can't kill her because apparently the curse of the abyss keeps her immortal. So he shows Nanachi. He goes, yeah, I keep fucking eviscerating her, and she keeps coming back, except more deformed. So you just see her like all of her insides splayed out on the wall, and she's like yelling and crying.
Yeah, so she's gonna have to hold that L.
Yeah. So Nanachi fucking grabs her, runs off, and that's when you find that out. And she asks Reg to be like, because Reg has a fucking crazy Mega Man arm that just incinerates everything in its path. She's like, kill it, please kill Mitty. And then right before he's about to do it, she's like, wait, I fucked up. And she has like this massive breakdown of like, fucked up. I don't want to do this. I love you, Mitty. Da 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 da. And it's so like heart wrenching.
Yeah.
And then she finally like backs away and goes like, Reg, just do it, because if you don't do it, I'm not gonna let it happen. Fucking finally kills it, and she starts crying. Reg immediately comes over, and she doesn't like people being like touching her.
Yeah.
And she comes, and like Reg immediately comes over and hugs her, and she's like, "Don't fucking touch me, don't touch me." And it's like so real and so, it makes your skin fucking crawl.
Yeah, this sounds like a horrible, miserable experience, and I don't want to watch it.
I loved it.
But it sounds.
I loved it. But it was so good.
I hear nothing but good things, and I probably will never watch this show.
Yeah,
just because this is not.
Yeah, I loved it. Even if you saw the spoiler, I could not watch it in the dub. I tried watching the dub for a second. I was like, no, it does not have the same power as the Japanese dub.
Yeah.
It is like leaps and bounds in terms of like skill. Like it is just so much more fucking gripping. Like, because you feel the pain in their voice, and it's like, oof, oof.
Yeah. Again, yeah, you hear nothing but good things about that show. A little too miserable for me. So
unfortunately, it does seem to like the quote unquote when going into the manga, because I was like, there's got to be a point where he fights him, and there is. And it is like way more anime. It gets way more anime, and like in like its overall like. Apparently, there's weapons that are powered by people, so they use people like batteries. Yeah. And that I think one of that guys particularly. I don't know much about it. Rowboat is more. Robot Girlyman in chat, he's more in on it. He said that he said that apparently this man does something even worse than what he did to Midi and Nanachi and all those kids. So I'm not prepared for what the fuck that's going to be.
Yeah.
When the inevitable, apparently there's 2 movies that are out that I have to watch, and also Made in the Abyss 2 is coming at some point.
I'm
hoping that is a continuation of the mainline thing, because at least it ends with Riko waking up and her arm's okay.
I was gonna say, to my understanding, the 2 movies are recap movies, but I'm not too sure. Yeah, it shows like that ride a very fine line between like gripping dark fantasy and misery porn.
Yeah, but it's not really like, I don't consider it misery porn because it's a slow build. So like it's not, so episode 10. I think you can
still have a slow build to where it just becomes, because everything, if it has a purpose and it's driving the story, like I get it. But there are some things
for sure
that just get so dark. It's like, this is just dark for the
this
sake
is not
of
that.
Being awful.
This is not that. This is absolutely not that. This is almost everything that happens to them is serving to the storyline of like the worst thing about the Corpse Sweeper is like them showing, okay, the Abyss is fucked. Yeah. And then, that White Whistle they run into, who is like beats the shit out of Reg and makes him realize that like when he uses his ability, he passes out for 2 hours uncontrollably. Like he can't come back. So when he comes back out of it, that's their way of saying, hey, by the way, when you use that, it better be like a last-ditch effort. Whatever's going to come after you better be fucking dead.
But I mean, like...
then the episode 10 thing, obviously, is this is the effect of the curse. This is what happens at the Slayer. This is how real because it's not even like all the way up. This is how real, like how badly it affects people just from that one little thing.
But I guess my point is what is the point of it all? Like, what is the takeaway of this story?
Because Riko and Reg are... Riko is constantly hopeful. She is an adamant... Like, she is a testament to the human spirit. Okay. So, no matter what happens to her, she takes it in stride. And to the point where even, like, with her... Reg, when she wakes up and Reg is, like, the first thing he says is, I'm so sorry about your arm. And she goes, I told you to do it. Like... You do not have to feel bad about it. Like, that was my decision.
Yeah.
And no matter what, we're in this together. And it's like a very heartfelt, because when they get Nanachi involved and they, like, at the end of it, they ask her, do you want to come with us? And she's like, yeah, fuck it. I'll go with you. And it's a testament to like how strong the human spirit is in the face of adventure and in the face of like pure, utter darkness. Like what happens when like, unstoppable good meets like immovable good meets unstoppable evil, essentially.
Okay. And
like how it's not like where it's like if you look at it from just like a gore porn, because it's not even that. It's not. It takes until episode 10 until something that terrifying happens. Because even the Reg fight with a White Whistle, I'm forgetting her name right now, unfortunately, but is terrifying, and you feel like really bad for the kids. But like it shocks you out of it. No, episode 10's where it stays, and you go, and like it takes 3 episodes for Rico to wake up.
Yeah,
because it is a healing process. Like it is like people are healing in real time. Like which is crazy because there was a whole nother like 10-day quote unquote training arc after episode 7 to be like, okay, you fucked up. You go survive on your own in 10 days in this particular portion of the land, and then if you come back, you're fine. Yeah. I'll send you back down.
As long as it is, it doesn't hit that point where it's like, you know what, I just wanted to do a bunch of fucked up shit to some kids. Like, as long as it doesn't hit that.
No, it definitely has some...
It doesn't sound like in the anime that happens, but as long as the manga doesn't go there...
So you have to have like a bit more of a mature kind of approach to it, because there are scenes that people would find quote-unquote questionable, and it's not like... So here's where it gets weird. Where I was like, I don't know about this. They do, because they're young kids, they do refer to like certain things. Mm-hmm. And like
the hard R.
No, so a big joke is like everyone was like, Rico was trying to figure out like and just explore like, it was regular like a normal human boy. Yeah. She goes, yeah, and even his penis is like a normal human boy's. He goes, my what? And like that's like a huge joke in the whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
And like she has a book where she had like measurements and everything. He goes, I hope that book is never found again. And like that's a big thing. And then occasionally like there are segments where he's like after the corpse sweeper thing, she gets dragged off and he's like, I got to make sure she's not hurt. And he's doing it like completely innocently.
Yeah.
And they play it like it was supposed to be like at first it's like, oh, because he takes off her shirt to check and she's like, unfortunately, like no shirt as a young girl, which is like, ugh,
Yeah.
But in the thing, she wakes up and she's like, not misunderstanding at all. She's like, no, I get it. No, it's cool. Like it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But then there's also a fucking they go take a bath and Nanachi's like giving him shit and like, oh, you already kissed her, because he had to give her mouth to mouth CPR, and it's like not sexualized, but it's just like a weird
robot.
Yeah, it's like it's just so there's like
2 whoopee cushions
like
in his
weird
lungs.
like weird little like make you go are they, and then you turn around, it's like nah, no they're not, which is good because apparently that just they just don't do that as much later on, so I'm happy with that.
No, and I never thought they would do that.
Yeah,
but it's like,
but you wouldn't be wrong, because let's think about like where Japanese media normally goes.
I was gonna say, but it's like, let's the author really just wanted to do some weird body horror with some kids. That's just what he wanted to do,
If you think about it, I mean, it's the best way to kind of be like, shit's real, right? Because I think it's a you constantly you see all these fucking cartoons and anime always be like, this kid is if you think about like the situation that these kids are in, these are terrifying, like unimaginable situations that they Deus Ex Machina their way out of. This is essentially that, but they don't have that. They have to use their wits and the like the strength of their character and like their knowledge to actually do things. And one magic bunny. Well, she's not magic. She's just
a doctor, which is kind of like modern magic.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I loved it. I thought it was a fantastic series. And that's why, like,
it'll probably be.
What's the next one? The Wonderland one. I gotta watch.
Dead Man Wonderland.
No.
Oh, I was really hoping that was.
No, I've seen Dead Man Wonderland. It's meh.
I will be your dead man, Phil. With nothing but this blood on my hands.
That one I do think is closer to what you're saying.
That is just... I just wanted to do some fucked up shit to some people. Yeah, their power is blood.
I'm trying to remember what it is. Maybe chat can tell me.
Wonderland?
The Promised Neverland.
Oh.
Yeah. That one I think is more closer to what you're saying, where this is me just doing fucked up shit to kids, which is why I'm like, eh.
No, that one is I wanted to do like an espionage thriller with these kids with really shitty stakes.
Oh.
Like, and shitty as in like raw stakes.
Oh,
okay.
Like,
it's like if they don't succeed, they're gonna. It's rough.
They get fucked on.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
But that's more of like a. I don't know. I've been told it's got a lot of like more mind games kind of stuff going on, which sounds interesting and like. Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff I do want to watch. Is if you make it interesting, it's just for whatever reason. The genre is entirely around doing it to kids beneath the age of 5th grade. Yeah. Like, why are they doing that?
Yeah, like, listen, I got through Danganronpa, all right. That team is now making a game about elementary schoolers that also are stuck in a killing game.
Why do they do that?
I was like, what do they need to be elementary schoolers for?
I don't think that you need to do that. Why don't you just do it with college kids?
I've never seen it.
Makes more sense for the college kids
not.
to make.
Definitely can never. There is no college in Japan.
None.
Once you go to college, you're irrelevant.
You become an adult.
Yeah, but yeah.
It just makes more sense to do it with kids like who are older. Like if you're gonna do anything like that, you're gonna do the high school shit. Because at least with a Made in Abyss, like it's very clear from the onset that she should not be fucking doing this. Like she has people who support her and they're like, haha, yeah, but like in their heads are like, man, we should not let her do that.
I'm gonna send this kid to die.
Like this kid's
that's
going.
What I'm doing today. Because
that's the thing too. Is they always talk about that like. She meets people along the way, and they're all like really sad, and they're like, "Well, what's going on?" She's like, "Because it's gonna be the last time I ever see you." Like they let them know like you're on a journey, you're on a one-way journey.
Yeah.
Because you're not coming back. You're gonna do that, and you're not coming back. And everyone's like, it's very emotional when those scenes happen. It's very emotional because like you meet characters that are really cool and they're very fun. They're the fun characters, and you're like, they physically cannot be in the story anymore.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense for them because Rico goes up and she's fucked. Like it's a step. It's a step and it affects you.
Until they find the weird abyss smoke machine and then they blow up the smoke
machine. So episode 13 shows that Nanachi knows a way to get around the curse.
I was gonna say
she knows how to
about the guy who built a fucking elevator? Did anybody know about his weird elevator experiment?
The other thing is too is no one like they didn't really fully explain why the white whistles can keep going back up and down without dying.
Okay. There is mystery. There are their seeds are planted.
Yeah, there's definitely like I mean because Rico's whole thing too is like not to go but once back again. Rico's whole thing too is that she was born in the abyss, but she died. She was a stillborn baby. And she was put into a relic that the white whistle that they met had, and she came back. So Rico's whole thing is that but for whatever reason, she goes and she tells him, "This is my relic. Whatever I put that is dead comes back to life. But every single one of them keeps trying to go back into the abyss, and I don't know why." Mm-hmm. So she tells Rico, "You're trying to go into the abyss. I don't know why. I'm not going to stop you." But whatever you find down there is going to be crazy. So
you're going to see some wacky shit.
He's like, by the way, you're a zombie baby.
So anyway, big shout outs to that YouTube comment guy.
Yeah.
I know you like anime, so we try to fit it in.
We fit in quite a lot of anime.
Because we're too late to talk about most of the news on here.
Yeah. Hey, there's a news portion of this podcast. And this is going to be the one that I told you about. The one that we might hit 3 hours. The one that I feel like it's going to be 3 hours.
We just hit 2:07.
Yeah. So.
If you don't think I'm going to rush you through this Blizzard thing, you have another thing coming.
Oh my god! See, Max does this all the time.
There's a lot to unpack here.
There is,
and I'm going to tie it back up. I'm going to put the bow back on there.
I don't understand why Max does this. He refuses to talk about it. He goes, other people talked about it. It's like, so fucking what? We have a podcast.
Yeah, but if it's the week of it happening, that's one thing.
Who gives a shit? It's still happening.
I don't give a shit about Blizzard.
You don't. I do.
Okay, well.
What's the point of having a pod? You fucking guy.
Go on.
You fucking guy. I watched anime.
Go ahead and unpack.
I had a whole hour basically dedicated to it.
Was that a fun thing we both talked about?
You fucking.
Now you can talk about Blizzard.
Oh my god.
Who cares? They don't even have Destiny anymore. It's like the one reason we talked about Blizzard.
Is that really? No.
Was to clown on them for Destiny stuff.
I did like Blizzard.
Really?
I used to like. Yeah.
Which one?
Blizzard.
Which stuff did you like of Blizzard recently?
Overwatch and Diablo, and I actually. Well, no, I don't like WoW.
Diablo 3? You're like,
yeah, I love Diablo 3.
You did?
Yeah.
When was the last time you played it? Was it within this podcast?
No.
Blizzard was only a clowning device.
Okay, no, you're right, Max. We won't talk about anything you ever love again that you haven't immediately dedicated your immediate time to. That's cool.
Cool. We can wrap these up in like 15 minutes.
Oh my god.
Okay, let's talk about Blizzard.
My life is basically telling Max, "Hey, we should do a podcast," and Max going, "About what?" And he knows there's news, and he knows, and he goes, "But I don't want to have a controversial opinion. It'll be recorded."
That's true. Yeah. What I'm trying to say is, I'm also trying to cover up all this Hong Kong nonsense. I'm trying to. It's like, why are we even clowning on Blizzard? Let's just give them a pass this week.
There it is. That's always been. And Max has been an agent of the Chinese government from the fucking very beginning.
What was the real bit? Can you find it? Can you find the bit? What was it Max was going for? Is he a sleeper cell, or is he just really tired hearing about this stupid Hearthstone game no one even likes?
Which is, yeah, well, it is kind of crazy to think that, like, Hearthstone is getting all this publicity out of nowhere. It's almost like it was calculated. No, it would have been. So I guess we'll go ahead and go through a majority of it in 2 seconds. Yeah. For those of you who've had the great fortune, not misfortune, the great fortune of living under a rock for the past year and a half, hey, welcome back. Shit's not great. So, come sa. There was a Hearthstone tournament that happened in China.
Michael Jackson?
No, it's Mama Sa Manakusa.
Oh, I thought that's what you said.
Kamsa is like another.
I thought we were linking controversial topics together.
Oh no! Oof. Blitzchung supported by the Neverland estate.
Oh, Promise Neverland. That's what you were thinking of.
Yeah.
Different. It's also about a creepy old woman doing bad shit to kids.
Oh my god. No. Anyways.
Sorry.
No, you're good. No, you're good. I do have to watch it. So Blitzchung came out there, and as everybody has kind of already, we've talked about it on the stream before, and I think everybody who's at least follows the stream knows very well that Hong Kong's kind of on fire right now. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of shit going on, and the biggest reason why the protests even started was due to the extradition bill that was essentially China telling Hong Kong, hey, if for any reason at all, we can just take people. We could just, and Hong Kong goes, what? And they go, yeah, let's say someone makes a Winnie the Pooh post. That person's now an enemy of the state.
Yeah.
And they go, what do you mean? And they're like, don't worry about it, but that person's now a terrorist, and they're never going to be seen from again.
They get sayonara, see you later.
So Hong Kong finally stood up. The guys were like, oh, that won't fucking do. So a lot of these kids are now, it went from just peaceful riots to there are young girls showing up in the Hong Kong harbor mutilated, and the fucking cops are ruling it a suicide, because of course they are.
Yeah.
So China's on fire, or at least Hong Kong is, which is great, because it means that, people are fucking finally paying attention to something.
If Hong Kong isn't literally on fire, you can rest assured that at least LeBron James's jersey is on fire.
And James Harden as well.
Thank you. You're right. This story was worth covering, so I could sneak that one in.
What was it? Silver Gunner fucking released a video today that was like renouncing his new album, like his actual album.
Yeah. And
he did it in the vein of like a gaming news thing, and they said like, this just in, Overwatch releasing a character that is LeBron James, and he's also gay. Which I remember now, thinking back to when Daddy 76 was announced and how much I was so on board with the concept, and I was like, yeah, no, I don't think it's that bad. Like, and now it's like, why would they ever do that? And I started to realize that I put all of my eggs into the basket of, maybe Blizzard isn't a piece of shit organization. And then they had that one statement when, so to circle all back onto it, when Blitzchung basically came out and he won the Hearthstone tournament, he put on a mask like the Hong Kong protesters and said, "Free Hong Kong, revolution of our age." And the people who were streaming, like the casters, were fucking like, nah, having it, duck their head underneath the desk, and then they immediately cut to a commercial. And immediately after that happened, apparently the Chinese version of Blizzard came out and said more things that I did not hear about. I thought it was the original like statement from just the North American side.
Yeah.
But apparently the China one was quite on the nose of like, we are doing this to defend the honor of China.
Oh, you didn't read that one?
No, yeah. I didn't know about that one until just recently, which I was like, oh, yeah, that's worse. Yeah. That makes woo.
So. What? And then following that, you have Blitzchung, right?
Yeah.
He loses all of his. They take away all of his winnings. They ban him for a year. They ban the commentators for a year.
Because of course, why would
the commentators be? Well, it's their job to like stop him, tackle him off of the stage, shoot him
through the Skype call.
I was gonna say that that it's their job to go like, whoa, Blitzchung, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
So they obviously
Christ.
get banned for a year. People are very unhappy, which is maybe a bit of an understatement. You have Blizzard employees walking out, covering up some of the Blizzard core values that are just in their, like, the Blizzard fountain that you have to have if you're a big company.
That was also made in China.
Yeah. I think it's really cool that all of these big gaming companies build a fountain specifically so that workers going on strike have a place to stand. Mm-hmm. If like Riot has one, do you remember the Riot fountain that all the Riot people hang out at?
Yeah,
they build these like strike locations. So it's like, listen, we know you're probably gonna do it at some point, so just go here. Look, this is where you cover things.
If I'm gonna keep up this dude bro culture, I know that at some point it's gonna come and bite me in the ass. So at least you have a nice place to stand out in the heat.
Blizzard is especially fun because they have like 5 or 6 like core values in big air quotes, where it's like, really, whatever we say, you have an option to cover one of these up or more. Like you can customize your
and it would literally prove your point at every turn.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we've gone against the grain of literally not allowing anybody to, like, we can't say that we're not doing this because no matter how many times we try to go around it, it's exactly what we're doing.
Yeah.
So there's just been more developments coming out of that, where now they finally decided to turn around and only bring the time down to 6 months for both the casters and the.
I like this one. This is my favorite part.
Okay.
Is so radio silence for days. I think it's like 5 days after this happens. Blizzard puts out an official post. From the future. Do you know about this part?
It's the one where they...
About the future post.
No.
On October 11th, a post comes out from October 12th at 8 a.m. because this post is very clearly a Chinese written post that was translated and posted at 8 a.m. on October 12th. And it went up on October 11th, but the date clearly said the day future. So this is clearly a Chinese statement. And it lowers the ban. It gives back Blitzchung's money. He gets his winnings back. He's now only banned for 6 months. The casters are now only banned for 6 months, because honestly, they have their tasers on them. They should have done
at all times.
They should have done something. Like, listen,
they're PRC tasers, and they're in a very, very nice and quaint red and yellow.
Look, if Noel Brown is getting ready to punch somebody on stream, I expect IFC Yipes to take that punch.
If I see another Samba de Amigo machine get broken in my general vicinity, that's it.
Absolutely not.
Ejecting everybody in the building.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Tasty Steve. Maybe instead of slapping Reaple, you should get out there and slap Noel Brown. Yeah, and the post is written in questionable English. It is very clearly not from a native speaker. In fact, there are people or native Chinese speakers who went through this, and they're like, yeah, a lot of these are very common mistakes when typing in English from originally, I forget exactly which one it was, because there are multiple languages.
Like one is traditional Chinese and one is
traditional
Mandarin.
Chinese. You got Mandarin, yeah. So I forget what the original was. But so that post comes out, and they're like, hey, guys, yeah, 6 months is still too much. And during this time, you have an American team winning, not Heroes of the Storm. Was it also Hearthstone?
It was a collegiate Hearthstone tournament, and
Hearthstone
essentially
like the symbol for revolution now. Like,
Hearthstone is still, as much as we don't think it is, Hearthstone's still incredible. Now that Legend of Runeterra is a thing, that's probably going to finally get like its fucking...
Listen.
Well, between that and the Magic the Gathering game getting an online segment to it, Hearthstone is definitely getting its market cornered in on.
I'm just saying, guys, you can probably say whatever the fuck you want on a Shadowverse stream. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah, but then it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter at all.
I say whatever I want on my Shadowverse streams, and you know what happens? No one tunes in.
You probably get a sponsor.
Yeah. Which, by the way, this podcast is sponsored by Shadowverse. If you sign up right now, you can get 20 packs from each expansion.
No, you know what this fucking podcast is sponsored by? It's sponsored by Havian, who's sponsored by Shadowverse.
Yes, that's true. We're sponsored by Havian, this podcast. So yeah, American team wins. And they also say free Hong Kong, and nothing happens. So they're like, yeah, actually, we're just going to boycott because I think it's kind of shitty that we didn't get banned.
Then they do get banned.
And then they do get banned like 5 days later.
Which they get super pumped about because they're like, fuck yeah. Like,
Hell
which
yeah.
is, we did this on purpose, and it's like, it would be shitty if they didn't do it to us.
Yeah.
So at least we know they're doubling down.
Yeah.
Which is another thing where it's like, okay, yeah, all right.
Yeah. And then you got like, CEO of Epic Games coming out saying like, oh, we never restrict what our players have to say. And everyone's like, shut the fuck up. We're still pissed about the store. Who said you could talk? And then Riot Games said, listen, maybe we should just focus on the games. And then everyone said, shut the fuck up, Riot. Your day comes next week.
Yeah, and then ESL said the same exact thing, and everyone was like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. ESL's like, all right.
Yeah, well,
Kind of forgot about you.
I'm sure every single gaming organization in the world has essentially turned around and said, and I quote, don't fucking talk about the Blizzard shit. Don't do it. Stop.
Yeah.
Because even if they don't support what Blizzard's actions are, even like making a statement at this point is a political, not making a statement and making a statement. It's a damned if you do, damned if you don't scenario.
Yeah.
But at least if you don't say a fucking word about it,
You just act like you didn't.
you just act like you didn't. Yeah, you just if you act dumb in this scenario, I almost feel like it's better sometimes because you just be like, you can just basically turn it around and be like,
say,
well, they're a private corporation, but we still support human rights.
I was gonna say,
which is a
like,
stupid roundabout way of just being like giving everyone what they want, but at the same time, it's like it's safer.
But also at the same time, like, I'm not sitting around waiting. Like, why hasn't Koei Tecmo said anything yet? What are they thinking right now? It's like, yeah, just don't say shit. Like, Riot coming out being like, oh, maybe we should just focus on the games. Unless you have a vagina, in which case we're going to have to talk.
So, yeah, I just... it's obvious that BlizzCon, as we're building them up more and more to it.
Are we going to restream BlizzCon?
Oh, well, okay, here's where I want to do that. Don't know if it's possible, because you have to buy a ticket to certain BlizzCon events.
Oh, Pop will buy a ticket.
Do we want to stake the livelihood of this?
Of this idea?
No, of this channel. I don't know if it's bannable.
Oh.
So if we look into it and we see that we can restream it with no problems, I'm 100% on board.
I definitely don't think we're going to do it, but I can think of a Smashcast account that might give it a shot. Yeah. So BlizzCon tickets are non-refundable. Tune in. Maybe it's worth buying a ticket this year. Maybe it's worth.
Here's the thing.
On.
Here's the thing.
No,
here's what I'm gonna ask.
I caught myself.
Okay.
Maybe it's worth one person buying a ticket.
Okay.
And then everyone watching that guy's restream.
Yes, but here's the thing. Here's what I'm gonna ask: is the general public that is actually who goes to BlizzCon, going to give a shit? I do, because these are the same people who cried at Blizzard to release an older version of a game that is just shittier.
Do you remember phones?
That's different. That's a whole different scenario in which everyone was expecting one thing. I don't know how many people are politically conscious within that demographic.
But my point is, it only took one dude. It only took the one guy to get up on that mic, say some shit.
I 100% hope that it fucks them up.
I'm hoping that crowd panic shot, everyone takes their shirt off. And it's got Winnie the Pooh holding up a sign, and it's got a Hearthstone whatever on it.
Right.
I don't know, Hearthstone shit. And it says Free Hong Kong.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Winnie the Pooh and May holding hands. They're both wearing the masks.
The May redesigns have been absolutely fantastic. And there've also been people who have been counteracting it with, like, support the public over China.
Yeah.
And those are obviously bad.
What if May just was not in the game anymore? Like BlizzCon comes out, it's like, we're here to announce a new character. She's an ice gun.
We're taking May away for a rework. Is how they're going to word it.
Yeah, we're
apparently she thinks she's people.
Yeah, we're reworking May. She's from Switzerland now.
Yep. She's actually Korean, South Korean, just like Diva.
Yeah, she's
Yeah, no, that's the other thing too. People, Sue's saying that Blizzard's going to only be allowing pre-vetted people to get on board, and at that point, if you're pre-vetted, how many of those people are going to be willing to turn around and take all of their? Because if that's the case, they're definitely going to have like plants, and either that plant's going to fucking turn around and be like free Hong Kong.
Then I almost think it'll be funnier to watch a broadcast where everyone is just super hyped about Blizzard, and it's like, hello, I have a question that isn't about China, specifically, as per my contract.
I would love, but I do want someone to fucking like try to come out there, and because here's the thing is that if they do only do pre-vetted questions, there's going to be far more of a stronger presence within the crowd because they can't just stop the crowd. They can most certainly try to fill the crowd with just like vetted people.
You can fill the crowd with that one guy from that one Bethesda conference.
What if Red Shirt Guy comes on during the WoW thing, and instead of a lore question, he asks about humans' rights? That'll be the penultimate. But he works at Brizzlet now, so I don't know about that.
So we've already talked about robo rights in Overwatch. When are they going to talk about people rights? People rights.
BlizzCon's going to be great.
So here's the thing. Blizzard, they're going to be fine. And that's the most unfortunate thing.
Because of the other thing that I've been hearing about too, which is why I'm asking whether or not people this is going to actively test whether or not people are going to boycott it. Because how many times have we heard about we're going to boycott this game? The only time we really heard about it was the fucking loot box nonsense with Star Wars, and even then they were only 2 million copies off of their fucking projections.
It means to fire half your staff. How dare they?
Yeah.
Now I think if Blizzard comes back from this, there's nothing a company could ever do. They'd have to shoot the little 12-year-old from Made in Abyss in the street, and even then, no, they'd have to.
No,
they gotta cut her hand off and slap her shit in with it.
They're so adorable.
And it's too bad.
Leave them alone.
It's too bad.
They're
Guess
going
what?
through so much already.
Nah, it's fine, man. New Hearthstone expansion. It's got your favorite wowers. It's got Illidan. It's got Olkadan. And it's got Olkadan is the owl from Soul Calibur.
What the fuck are you talking about?
It's got Illidan, Olkadan, and Necro. It's the new theme for the expansion.
Fucking got it. Okay, you know, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. So the other reason why is because there are rumors coming out that not only are we going to get the Diablo 4 announcement, but apparently Diablo 2 is going to get remastered.
Yeah, this would be the time.
It would be the time to absolutely pull all the fucking stops.
Oh, if they announce Diablo 2, Blizzard is so fine.
Yeah,
they're good.
That's the thing is how many. That's just why I go back to the question of how many people are actually going to BlizzCon that are politically conscious. I don't think that fucking many.
Yeah.
I would hope that every single one of them is. And wouldn't sit there, and if they are going to boycott Blizzard games, would do it. But I don't trust people. Yeah. I don't trust that people give enough of a shit to do that. We can have all these conversations. Actban can have his fucking 300 video about instigating fucking people and be like, yeah, fuck BlizzCon. Moment that fucking happens, people are still going to buy it. Yep. They're still going to do whatever they want. And that's just the fuck of it all. When you have free will and you live in an American country, and you live in a country of America rather, and you're free to do what you want. That means you can say one thing publicly and still buy the motherfucker and play it on a different account because you don't want to be a bitch.
I don't agree with Blizzard's I don't agree with Blizzard, but you know what? I've put about 8,000 hours into my WoW character, so fuck off. I'm not going to cancel my sub.
I actually haven't heard the stories about streamers who've cheered on Blizzard and who are getting fan bases turned on them.
Oh, yeah, I don't know anything about that.
Unless you're saying that's what you want.
Blizzard bad. Don't do Blizzard anymore.
Right.
But actually don't.
Right.
Don't like say you're not going like I'm going to boycott Blizzard.
This is just the fucking I think that even if Marco Rubio came out with a couple of senators and sent a letter to Blizzard, which they did, by the way. I don't know if you heard that one.
Yeah.
A bunch of our senators said, hey, don't fucking do that.
I saw that, yeah.
Even if they did that, and this could potentially be a political incident, no one's going to give a shit once Diablo 2 drops.
Honestly, the most wild thing about this is Blizzard is mostly American owned. It's only 4.9%.
Tencent owns yes,
it's
you're right.
Less than 5%.
Yeah, you're right. Tencent owns all of Riot.
Yeah, which is why Riot said, let's just focus on the game.
Okay, which is another thing, too, is that, you know, I think it was Pat that was bringing it up. Does Tencent hate the Chinese government, or do they love the Chinese government?
I have no idea.
Does anyone know?
I have no comment on that, so I'm not going to.
Does anyone know if they actually hate the Chinese government or if they love them? Because that is true.
I'm at the point where I've run out of things to say. This is all the information that I know, and it could be wrong still, but I don't think it is.
I'm getting... Sue's a little bit more politically inclined than I am, and he's saying they navigate, so they play ball.
Yeah.
So that's about as much as I need. They're complicit.
Yeah, but anyway, that's the Blizzard stuff. Story developing, hopefully.
So Riot, even though they didn't say a statement about Blizzard. Go ahead. No, do your segue. I'm sorry.
No, there wasn't a segue. You just had your hand up for a while.
Because I was trying not to choke.
But it wasn't high enough like you were going to ask a question, but it also wasn't low enough that you were pointing at something. So I looked up and I'm like, oh, is this the moment?
Oh, you thought I was going to see Kyle?
Is it time to wake up?
I'm not going to see anything in Sion.
Yeah, they're kind of...
No, because remember, they're good guys in one Gundam.
Yeah, if it's from their perspective... Yeah, I bet Hitler's autobiography paints him in a pretty good light. He's like, yeah dude, just trying to paint.
They're not Nazis. Ish.
They're literally space Nazis. That's the whole point.
No.
I don't feel like you got it.
No, because Char's not a Nazi.
He's literally blonde with blue eyes, man. He's like...
He's not a Nazi, though.
He's a peak human being, though. With his cool sunglasses. Just like Hitler has in Persona 2.
He's not a Nazi.
Okay, that's fine.
Fuck! Holy shit!
In name, I guess he isn't.
Oh no! The Chinese government.
Oh well. Anyway, Riot announced a whole bunch of... I was gonna say they announced a bunch of names, but I guess they didn't do that either. Riot announced that they're gonna make a game that isn't League of Legends, kind of.
Riot's doing exactly what it needed to do this entire time, and utilize the League of Legends license to do other shit with it.
Utilize the fact that
that's where it's going. What are you gonna do about it? Don't do it.
Just puts a bottle on a couch.
He's chilling right there. Leave him alone.
But you finished it.
Fuck! I need to get some.
What could you
keep going? I need to get some more water.
What could you possibly have? What purpose does he have in hanging out there? Anyway, I'll talk about Riot for a bit. As the chief Riot expert here at Hipsters on Purpose,
no.
I'll have you know that I played Twisted Fate for about 2 months.
Did you?
Yeah. But my biggest problem was that I always thought those legends that were in that league were so cool. But MOBAs are literally stupid garbage. If only there was a better genre that they could be in. Well, after years of dicking around, Riot finally decided, yeah, maybe so. And announced a fighting game, a first-person shooter, I think a card game, definitely an animated series, and none of these things have names, I think, and none of them have dates. Except for the card game, and I think the animated series has a name, but that's all we know. And they made the cute fox girl Iori, which I guess is cool, but the game still looks jank, so I've said all I can about Riot. Oh, man.
Oh, hello? Fuck.
No,
How did I do that?
No, you're good.
It's Rising Thunder.
Yeah, Rising Thunder was okay, and it had a serious problem with zoners, so...
Well, there's a lot of zoners and
I don't need
League,
Rising Thunder to come.
so
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you. So Project A is the first-person shooter. Project L is the fighter. Legends of Runeterra is the card game.
Why didn't they call it Project S and Project F? For shooter and fighter?
Because there's probably a name behind it. Like,
No.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know. And they also announced a Diablo-like. Well, they didn't announce it. They showed it.
Well, yeah. I mean, that makes sense. You already kind of got it, right?
Yeah, and they had a mode that was very similar to Diablo for a little while. It used the League of Legends engine, and it was fun, and people really liked it. So
Yeah.
then they're finally making a game around it. it may not be a direct answer to what Blizzard is saying, what they're doing, but it is a call out to show that Blizzard's kind of staple in whatever this is.
Yeah.
Their link on the phone is going to be, it's in question for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it just
hello.
Even with like team fight tactics, it proved that like
shit. I'm sorry, guys.
Like literally anything else besides a MOBA, and I'm in. Like I had so much fun with team fight tactics, and maybe it's because I had two people yelling at me over my shoulder while I played it, and we were all playing locally. But like, yeah, just try something else. That's it. I'll install your stupid launcher.
Yeah.
Why not?
And they definitely are making concessions to like move the launcher towards just a Riot launcher, because the launcher itself is different now than when it was before with just League of Legends.
Yeah.
Looks worse, but they're trying to do something with it. And yeah, everything I saw, I want to be so much more excited for. But it's like we talked about that day when we were when I was looking at it. Yeah. I was like, isn't Riot just as fucking bad as Blizzard right now?
Yeah.
Aren't they just as bad?
Yeah. That's part two, is like, if you want me to forget about how bad your company is, you got to show me more than what your development studio looks like. I don't care how many Riot arcade cabinets you have. If all you have to show me is Henri, right? Throwing a projectile and one anti-air grab, I'm not going to forget about how much you don't like paying women. Sorry.
Or treating them like humans.
Yeah. Sorry. If she did like his record, like the 1-2 into the dunk, yeah, I could probably forget for a little bit.
Yeah, but no, everything I saw, I was 100% on board with it. And I was like, man, I really want to support a company that I don't feel entirely fucking bad about doing anymore.
I do.
I don't want to have to sit there and feel like when I play League of Legends, because I still enjoy that game, that I'm doing a disservice to somebody, that I'm paying into and being complicit entirely to an organization. And it does absolutely. It's like that fucking. Yeah. It feels like that thing where it's like there's a comic where it's like, oh, society should be better, and some fucking asshole pops out of a hole and it's like, but you participate in society. How silly! I'm a very clever man. Like, it's like people who participate in a thing can't want it to be better either. It's like, oh man.
When you play League of Legends, the only thing you want to be complicit towards is your desk.
Okay, he gets really mad at me. And he's completely right in doing it,
because I get genuinely worried because I hear a loud bang. I'm like, Phil, you have a glass desk.
I do have a glass desk.
My desk used to be my family's dining room table. I can bang on that thing as much as I want.
Listen.
Plus, I got tiny hands. So
you've never been in bronze, and you don't understand it. You don't understand the pain.
You're right.
Of human stupidity at its absolute peak. And how
you're right, because I play the superior genre of games where that's not a problem.
You're the problem.
Me?
Technically, that's the whole point.
Yeah. No, which means that the angriest I get is
so
at
it's
my mirror.
So it's self-flight. It's like, I just hate other people. You hate yourself.
Yeah, but if I want to look that son of a bitch in the eye, I got to go for a long walk over to my bathroom, and that's time to cool off. I get there and I'm like, we'll get him next time. Fist bump. Ow. Shit. Cold.
Well, with Project L, maybe I too can be in fighting games now. Yeah?
Probably.
Yeah.
It'll be free.
I think.
It'll probably be free.
I hope.
That should be their model, is that everything is free.
I am really excited for the shooter. Unfortunately. Anytime a new shooter is shown.
Magic Counter-Strike, sure. Why not?
Yeah, that's all I needed.
Cool. It's no paladins, but I guess it'll work.
So, I mean, but it's like the same thing where I feel like, I don't know. I'm way more pumped about this because when they came out about the shooter thing, they're like, yeah, not a whole lot of people have really done anything with netcode. They've said they haven't really fucked around with it, but we're like, that's our big thing with this one is just really trying to like work on hit latency and hitboxes and shit like that. And I was like, that's a huge problem for CS. Yeah. That's why I love CS:GO, but there is a where the verb and or noun is to get CS:GO. It's a verb. So to get CS:GO'd.
Yeah.
Which essentially is everyone sees that your reticle's on that man's head. And the game just goes, no, it's not. It doesn't matter if it's a LAN event or not. Everyone sees it and they go, he just got CS code. Because if you miss, for whatever reason, it's just gonna.
What is it? 3 commentators usually, right?
Yeah.
If 2 out of 3 commentators say you got CS code, that other player should have to like throw a grenade at the floor and kill themselves.
Yep. Damn it. My mic.
Yeah, it's weird that, especially now where all competitive games, their main focus is online. No one really seems to give a shit about online still. Hey guys, GGPO is free. It's free. It's open source. There's a website. You can call them up. I might as well have their fucking phone number on there.
Yeah.
I'll walk you through it.
Well, I mean, network engineering is really hard. So.
No, you still have
to harder.
No, you still have to integrate it. But it's free. It's there. It's free. If your game has replays, you can use GGPO. It's right there.
Project L should definitely use GGPO.
Just needs rollback netcode.
Mm-hmm. Should be fun.
Don't put that in your shooter. It won't work.
Nope.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. People have. And it's bad.
Don't be that one guy who made Street Fighter's netcode. He didn't get it.
Oof.
He almost got it. He was so close, but then he changed 1-0 to a 1, and now he's fucked.
There was a racing game that did that a while ago.
Rollback netcode in a racing game?
No, it wasn't that. It was they said we literally changed one setting in the code and it broke online. So online's not coming out until we fix it, and it was 2 months later.
Sounds like split second.
Might have been.
Or
it was closer to the launch of the PS4.
I was gonna say it sounds like one of those racing games that just has one word, like grip or grid or zoom or race or car. Can there be a racing game just called Car?
Zoom car. Zoom. I like Zoom a lot. Zoom's really good.
Zoom's pretty good. I liked Blur. Blur was such a cool
fun
name.
though.
I never got to play it. It got delisted. I was so angry.
Blur was fun
because everything I saw that game looked sick.
It was really good.
Yeah. So, moral of the story is that be excited about all that Riot stuff if you hate women.
Oh, don't do that, motherfucker.
Sorry, champ.
The EGX game stuff. I didn't find anything relevant, but EGX is happening.
We'll post relevant stuff in a bit.
Yeah, and I didn't find anything relevant.
Oops.
So.
Oh well, it happens. Death Stranding leaks. I think you're the only human being who actually wants to talk about this right now, so I'm going to gloss over it.
Wow.
I promise you're the only person who wants to talk about this right now.
I know what you mean.
You are the only one who likes leaks and spoiling them.
No, I wasn't gonna talk about the spoilers. I was just saying it's more like a warning to let people know that that is happening.
Okay, then
because that people, because here's what happened. There was a guy who knows Nibble.
Yeah.
And Nibble came out and tried to basically push that this guy was playing in the game, and they got the whole Death Stranding subreddit in a flurry because he came out and made some very sweeping really good generalizations, and he was lying the whole time. So
cool.
So there are real leaks, and people are playing review copies of the game. The review embargo is up on November the 1st.
Yeah.
Game comes out on the 8th.
It's really soon.
It's very soon. This is more of a don't be out there reading spoilers and thinking it's not real. There are copies of the game. There have been confirmed screenshots.
Yep, picking mine up tomorrow.
If it's there, I will sell my third born child. I
was gonna say
the first two are cool.
I'm not gonna roll my dice again.
Yeah.
No, that one time was lightning in a bottle, like that. Or no, that's
no,
that
it was a span of a couple of months because whoever they were cool with,
nothing was ever like that one time.
No, Persona 5 was an absolute.
That was a 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. That was ridiculous.
Yeah. We had it for almost. It was almost 3.
It was a long. I got the game. I started recording, and I had my review out, I think, a week in advance. So it had to have been at least 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because I blasted through that game in 3 days.
I beat it the day it was released.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is mathematically impossible. Yeah. So, again, watch out, all you Death Stranders out there. You might want to strand yourself from the internet for a bit until you play the game. Otherwise, you're gonna face certain death.
There are definitely a lot of things where people like, because Shirako, the guy who's like
a clown,
a very big clown. He's the dude. I don't know if you remember. He's a dude back last year who was he got everyone into a fucking tizzy because he was the one shooting females in Red Dead Redemption and doing a whole bunch of really questionable shit to them the whole time.
Oh, great. I can't wait to see what Death Stranding related news comes out of that guy.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, he's still an industry insider somehow and still keeps getting these games early.
Yeah, why not? Fuck it.
So,
send that guy a copy.
Even though Resetera absolutely put him the fucking task last year and just forgot.
Yeah.
Resetera.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah, just go ahead and keep acting like the fucking...
I'll repost the thread. Don't think I won't. It might be closed, but you can still read it.
Because every Crowley Cat thread starts with, haha, this is funny. And the second post is, isn't this guy a racist?
Third post, let's get him.
Let's get him. And they never fucking do.
30th post, who is this? What did they do?
What did they do?
31st post, I follow him on Twitter. He's got some funny tweets. I don't know.
And then
32nd post.
And then
I looked at all of his tweets, and this one time, he was racist, and he... Whatever, you don't need a rule of threes. Fuck it, comedy sucks.
I can't begin to... this will always be, at least for me, a hidden segment on the podcast. They kind of like...
Who's racist this week?
No. What did Resetera not do this week, thinks they did?
What did Resetera forget it didn't do?
Well, first of all, they forgot that they were a harbor for fucking child fiddlers for a little while.
Oops.
Big oopsies.
Sorry, fellas. You can change the name, but you can't change the game.
Yo, bars? Holy shit,
yeah,
Max.
like EA is trying to do a Jedi Knight Fallen Order by just turning it into Future Souls. Thank you.
Yeah, so there's a lot of previews coming out about Jedi Knight, and
you're getting Force energy, and you lose your Force energy when you die. So you got to go back to where your Force Ghost is, and then your Force Ghost gives you your Force energy back.
So it's ridiculous to me. I put it on there because almost everything I've read so far is that it's just Souls, which is it's so shitty. Like they couldn't have done anything else.
What else? Every Star Wars game has just been this other game. Always.
Yeah.
It's never been original ever, not once.
I would have.
Pod Racer is just F-Zero.
I would have liked Uncharted way more if it was closer to Uncharted way more than it was to be like Dark Souls.
Probably, yeah.
It probably would have been a way more fun game, and I think that
what else?
It's probably going to be fun already. But like,
I'm trying to think now. Rogue Squadron, yeah, that's just
everything they've said is so far been like, yeah, it's just Sekiro, but like easier.
Force Unleashed, that's just God of War with some Force stuff. I like it more than God of War, but I think I'm weird. I don't think do people not like Force Unleashed? I really like that game.
It is touch and go.
It's generic and it's repetitive, but when you pick up a stormtrooper and you just throw him at a ship and he just explodes, it feels really good.
You would really like Psyops if that's the case.
Maybe. What else? Battlefront's literally Battlefield now with some Star stuff.
That's made by the same guys.
Yeah, and you actually care what you get out of the box.
Now, speaking of that, I wrote it on here just because I saw it and I was really upset about it. Hey, Modern Warfare is getting an exclusive mode for the PS4 because that's still happening somehow.
Yeah, but it's not.
It's a co-op mode.
It's an exclusive section of a new mode
for a whole year.
Yeah, it's like a horde. But it's not a zombie horde.
No,
it's like a people horde.
Yeah, so they introduced it in Modern Warfare 3. And I think they brought the mode back for this one. It's not this mode specifically, but it's the same kind of thing.
Fuck. I forgot. I've only ever owned and played 2 Call of Duty games. Like, played. And that was Black Ops and Modern Warfare 3. That's when I got on. That's when I got out.
Yeah, Spec Ops.
Yeah.
It's the Spec Ops mode. So it's not the same exact mode, but it's pretty much the same exact mode.
I hear there's different objectives in the mode, but it's a co-op to shoot.
I just find it ridiculous that we're still doing this. That we're still at the point where it's like exclusivity is a thing now, even though it's been announced that the PS5 is absolutely coming in holiday 2020.
Yeah. Which is why it's only exclusive for a year, because then it's going to be PS5 exclusive.
Oh no. Oh, they did it again, those bastards.
Yeah, I'd be more weirded out if at this point if Call of Duty didn't have a dumb PS4 exclusive thing. Not because it just wouldn't be Call of Duty if you weren't like flexing on Xbox owners, you know, like I used to do.
That didn't used to be the case.
Well,
It used to be the other way around.
Yeah, well now it is. I get to flex on Xbox owners. All 6 of them. PS5 rumors. Hey, guess what? They don't want you to know they fired a bunch of people. Don't pay attention. Controller. The triggers. They have feedback. We didn't fire anybody. And you can buy the PS5 next year, holiday, and no one's fired.
He wasn't fired. He left.
No. A bunch of people. No.
He left.
No.
No.
Who left?
Oh, Sean Layden. I know that a bunch of other people were left too, or they were fired. But Sean Layden left too.
Yeah, Sean Layden left. A bunch of other people got fired.
No,
Oh, sorry. I don't know why I didn't get the bit. I started with the bit and I just didn't even. Yeah. So I think the PS4 is gonna have triggers and they'll resist you. They'll fight back.
I don't want my controller to fight me fucking back.
I was gonna say it's like, oh yeah, you're really gonna feel like you're putting the
you
pedal
missed
to
a quarter circle input on your shit, and it's gonna hit me in the fucking mouth. Like
Yeah.
you better do that shit again.
Yeah, every time. Yeah, it's like, oh, you're gonna feel like you're really putting the pedal to the metal. It's like, not unless I play with my feet.
It is the only exercise I think I'll ever get,
Yeah.
but I still don't want
I
it.
was gonna say it's gonna make the carpal tunnel real cool, right?
Ooh,
Yeah. Ooh, fun.
it is a different form of carpal tunnel. I don't know.
like-
Do you have carpal tunnel at all?
I used to.
So I have
lot.
arthritis and carpal tunnel. So when I get my hands on a controller and if it's like an extended period of time, my hands will stay that way for like a little bit
Yeah.
because my joints will kind of just form
See.
around it essentially. And then when I try to put the controller down, I try to move my hands freely.
Yeah.
My fingers just fucking.
See, for me, it was like my hand would lock up when I'd play like shooters. Whenever I have to like hold shift and like control and then WASD, like I can't do that.
Right.
Rhythm games, Osu fucked me up because I would play it for like hours a day when I was really into it. I came close with fighting games and then I swapped to stick, so that doesn't happen. Yuzu was a struggle, but I got past that because you're constantly holding things. If I had to play Batista, I'd be like handicapped. Like I don't know how anyone does that.
What you need to do is you just
God
need to
bless
take
Matt.
whatever Matt is. Yeah, whatever
He's
Matt
playing
is
on a
eating
controller.
or drinking.
I don't know what. He just playing on controller.
Matt is either sandbagging us every single time, or he genuinely doesn't know where his like inherent gamer strength comes from.
Yeah, he's got big gamer energy that's just constantly.
He
oozing
literally
out of
is BGE, big gamer energy.
Um,
Like, because that man gets on anything. Because like we were playing League together, and he was absolutely. And I was like, so wait, what did you? He goes, oh, when I played, I was plat. I was like, oh, you piece of shit.
him. Yeah, from
Like,
what I know,
he always made it seem like he played League casually, but like platinum is
No.
really high.
No, I hear he played a lot back in the day, back in the good
I
old
was
days.
like, Matt, you piece of shit.
So yeah, please be excited with the PS5's shitty. Guys, please stop doing this. You nailed it. The DS4 is great. Just don't change it.
The DS4 is actually
Take this stupid touchpad out. Maybe move the share button and bring a select back.
I think that between Xbox and PS4, I think both the controllers are fantastic this go around.
Yeah, don't change it.
Don't change
We'll
them.
take touchpad out. Touchpad is dumb.
Mm-hmm.
It takes up too much battery. Just get rid of it. You don't need it. Put a select button. Put a share button somewhere up here, maybe. Like, you remember what the old analog button used to be on like the PS2 controllers?
Yeah.
Make that the share button. Put select back. Put home button back where it was on the PS3. Done. Call it a day. I don't want to fight my controller.
Boy, the touchpad was useless.
I'm trying to think of like a cool thing it did.
Infamous, that was about the only one.
What was it in Infamous?
No, barely. It was Infamous was the fucking 6-axis too.
What, in Second Son?
Yeah, and Second Son. It was
I
a
haven't played it
6-axis.
since it
Okay,
was,
so
no, I've played it, but it's been so long.
you had to angle your controller like it was a spray can and then push in on the touchpad.
Oh my fucking god! You had to hold it like this.
Yeah.
And if you can't tell, take your like. Anytime you've seen a shirt that says "Gamers Rise Up," hold your controller like that with your index finger on the R2. That's how you had to use the spray can in Infamous.
And you had to shake it, and
I remember
like,
oh, dude, I love the Wii. Fun. Where's Jet Set Radio? Cool.
You're right. It was the R2, not touchpad. So the touchpad wasn't even useful there.
Yeah. So, take out 6-axis. Gyro controls suck. Take them out. I don't want them.
There was one game that used it as menu, and it was really bad.
As menu?
It was like, instead of just pressing, like, you had to swipe for, like, to go to that particular part of the menu.
No, I can't remember. I never played a game like that. Was it like
a
launch title?
I'm just trying to remember. Huh?
Was it like a launch title?
I think. I don't remember.
We'll just say it's Thief. No one's
Even then, like fucking Bloodborne did the thing where it's like certain venues were locked behind it, where it's like even one half of the touchpad.
Yeah, you
was
have to
finicky.
put the left half or the right half. Some games will do that.
Yeah,
like,
which that's still finicky as fuck.
I was gonna say, like, if it's a shortcut I can get to some other way, like, fine. But also just fuck it, just put other buttons on. I don't care. Just cover the thing in buttons. Also, I'm hoping this thing's fucking backwards compatible.
Oh no.
Oh shit. Hey.
Oh no. Hello.
Yeah, we're also on Discord now. Again, we've been talking about PS5 being backwards compatible. Probably, it most definitely will be with PS4 stuff. I just want to be able. PS2, I want to put a PS3 disc in. Because PS2, I kind of have ways around it.
Yeah.
But PS3, you have to have a PS3.
I will say this. If they go above and beyond and decide that, everything is going to be backwards compatible, and if they even decide if you have your games as ISOs and you can just play them off your console, off the external hard drive.
No.
I know it's not going to happen.
That is...
If they do that, it'll be monstrous how fucking well that does.
That is so stupid.
It is. It is. But who's making the decisions anymore? Sean's gone.
No, it is way more likely this thing is backwards compatible. You would have to, if they're going to make it go the whole way through, they're going to have to make it because you would have to make it compatible with DVDs and stuff like that. Here's what you do. You have to you buy the games on the store. You download them.
Okay.
Backwards compatibility is rolled out. You put the disc in. It can recognize that it's a disc using whatever DRM the discs have. Every console, PlayStation 1, PS2, PS3, they all have a certain type of DRM on it.
Right.
It changes from console to console. It recognizes that. They go, okay, we'll let you download it for free. If it's available on the store, you put a physical, real disc in. It goes, okay, you can't play it off the disc, but you'll be able to download it. That's as far as I can see that going.
That seems like it'd be really... that doesn't seem like easier.
Oh, no, it's not
That's
easier.
a whole other infrastructure that I think you're incorporating, where as just like... I think it'd be easier if they just put it where you could just play it off the disc. That's just easier.
You're right. That would be easier, yeah. Yeah. My PS4 right now can play PS2 games. It can just play them. You can buy PS2 games. I have the disc. It's just a DVD.
I mean, if they do that, I'm fine, I guess.
I want them to announce the Emotion Engine.
But
2.
that would mean that you have to make it. You have to like natively. A PS5 has to come with a 2 terabyte hard drive at least. Because games are fucking 50 to 60 gigs. Fucking Final Fantasy 7 is probably going to be like a clear at least 100.
I think the default is going to be a terabyte. Not 500 gigs. The default's going to be a terabyte.
You think they're going to make it so like the $300 the $400 option is going to be 1 terabyte and $500 is going to be 2?
Yes. 100%. I think that's what it's going to be. Because you also have to think
if they turn around and they allow you to do the same thing with the PS5 and say you can put your own in, I'm fine with that.
Because you also got to remember these are going to be SSDs. So
they have to be for what they want. They want the system to do.
Never mind the fact that you can probably get an SSD cheaper. Whatever.
That is true. So depending on whether or not they want.
Hey, Joe Schmo buying his Madden doesn't know that. Fuck him. It reads the game faster. You pay more. That's it. $100 more for 2 terabytes. Be excited to maybe be disappointed. Who knows? Sean Layden left.
We are at the very least getting PS4 cross
you'll be able to play. Guilty
Which
Gear.
means if they turn around and tell me that there's... Because here's the other thing, too, that I think a lot of people forget. I wish it was just the way it worked on Xbox One, where you could play those older games and they just ran better. Because Advanced Warfighter is a good example.
Yeah.
Advanced Warfighter becomes 60 frames per second on the Xbox One.
I was going to say, listen, I've seen Drakengard 3 recently running at 60 FPS, and that makes that into a game that you can play.
You can play it. It looks good.
So,
Ish.
Well, it's as good as it's going to get.
It's plays. Yeah.
It's not going to fix all the other problems the
but,
game has.
But the way I think about it is like, because the way I always seen it was like, okay, here's how you do it. You make it so, okay, your PS4 games are going to run way better.
Yeah.
So that means you start making, you start doing the thing where in the back of the box, it's Last of Us, Ghost of Tsushima, Final Fantasy VII. Like all of these are really high profile games that are probably going to be out sometime next year. I mean, we know that 2 of them are. Ghost of Tsushima is up in the air.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be a PS5 launch title at this point.
Makes sense.
They have said completely, oh, it's PS4. I don't fucking believe them.
Nope,
for hard of a second. I think that it would make a lot of sense to just turn around and be like, play the best version of this PS4 game on the PS5.
Yeah.
And it just natively does that.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I don't think it's going to do that is because PS4 Pro patches are a fucking thing.
Yeah.
And certain games have them built in now. Most everything has them built in now. But even then, like the game boosting, like the boosting that the fucking Pro allows you to do for games that don't have the patch barely works anyway. So,
yeah, no, it's kind of a non-feature.
Yeah, like
I can't.
It turns it so that Bloodborne is playable.
Loading times.
Bloodborne frame rate on launch was bad.
It's not even that great
not
on
even that.
Pro.
No,
it's just locked 30.
It would dip below. With the performance, it doesn't dip as hard.
Yeah, after playing Dark Souls, because I've only, I haven't played Souls games too much, but playing Dark Souls 3 on PC at 60 FPS, I don't know how the fuck that game got a sequel past Demon Souls. Having to play a game like that at sub 60 sounds like a fucking nightmare.
It's not as bad as you think.
Really?
No, it's not as bad as you think.
Really?
I'll take because technically Monster Hunter World, I found out that Monster Hunter World's iframes are actually more strict than fucking any of the Souls games.
I don't like Monster Hunter at 30 either. I just never bought it again because of all the other things I didn't like about it.
True.
But do you know what the actual solution is?
What?
And this is crazy because they kind of already did it. Have the PS5 emulate the launch PS3. Because the launch PS3 just reads PlayStation 1, PS2, and PS3 discs.
It does.
So if you just emulate that, you have those 3.
You're probably right in the money of what it's doing.
And think,
I want to say that
the Wii U came out, and it didn't play Wii games. It emulated a Wii to play Wii games and WiiWare games and emulated games.
That means it would have to fucking find a way to... No, you're right, because if it just found a way to properly emulate the cell processor, if the fucking RSP PS3 guys can do it, who's to say that Sony doesn't have a couple of them on the docket?
Throw that on the PS5. Then you can just put the disc in. You have full compatibility.
Yeah.
Like right out of the gate.
Which would be insane.
Yeah. And
if they do that, they don't even need a launch title. Here's the thing.
PS5,
they're going to have one.
If the PS5 came out and they said there are no PS5 games, but you can play every PlayStation game ever on this one box,
I'm buying it.
Day one. The amount of headache I have to go through and the gymnastics I have to go through just to get I want to stream a PS2 game. Well, do I pull out my old capture card with my PS2? Do I try to get it running on PS3? Is there a working PS3 copy? Is it on PS3? Is it going to have issues? It's give me my PlayStation.
Do I pull out the legitimate PS2 that I have hidden over here?
That's why I almost wish they'd just come out and say, this is the PlayStation. This is it.
Ooh, you got it. You did it. You're on the marketing team. Boom.
Call it the PlayStation.
That guy.
Make the S kind of look like a 5.
Not only is he an agent of China, he's also working with Sony.
Heyo. Guess who's the new business white guy coming out during E3?
They did come out and call it the PS5 though, didn't they?
Yeah.
So it's so weird how bad the shit is over there, considering that it has to be bad for them to just kind of announce the PS5 officially.
Yeah.
As a
On a
like
tweet.
on a tweet, on a news, on a slight news article.
Yeah, it was a tweet to like a forum, not a forum, blog post.
If Mark Cerny is still on staff and he's still doing stuff, the PS5 may have the backwards compatibility that we want it to have. If he's still...
Who's that very nice gentleman who always wears the big hockey jersey, the PlayStation hockey jersey?
Oh,
Maybe he'll help.
The translator dude?
Yeah, the guy who's like, yeah, you guys want Yakuza? There's Yakuza.
He's still there, I think.
Guy.
No. I have to look at that.
Rest in fucking peace. Sorry, guys.
If Mark Cerny is still there on a technical team, then by all means, and yeah, this PS5 will emulate the PS3.
Yeah.
And it will give us exactly what we want.
You know, it'd be wild if they did like it's region free, right?
Yeah.
The Japanese copy, and then they sold translation patches as DLC.
Oh shit!
If you want to play Project Cross Zone? We had an intern translate this game. $5. You can play. You have the disc.
You're creating markets as we're speaking.
Could you fucking, dude? You want to play Project Cross Zone right now? You imported a disc. You get to the first fight. It's like, I don't know the fuck to play this game. Throw it in your PS5. $5. Now you know what they say in the game. We just lifted it off of fucking CD Romance. Who gives a shit?
That would make people actually care about being like actually put money into translation teams again.
Yeah. Use that to fund the next ones.
Yeah. It's kind of why I hope that on some level Sega is talking with the guys who made the PSO2 patch.
Yeah.
Because it's the game's in English. You might as well lift almost all of the source from them.
Just take it.
Just take it.
Slip them $10,000.
Yeah, like come up to Ark's Lair and just be like, hey guys, can we just? And they go, oh fuck yeah, here, go buy, because the whole game's basically in English now.
I was gonna say, yeah, like how much could you? At most, you pay them like $100,000. You call it a day.
Yeah.
Split it. Was it a team of people?
It's a team of people. So you pay them.
You split it up $100,000.
And they've been doing it for free. Well, they've got like donation incentives and shit like that, but they've been doing it for the most part for free forever and a day. So if Sony turns around and goes, "Hey, do you want to be on our translation team?" By all fucking means, that's what people should. I hate these fucking developers who keep doing this shit where it's like,
and then send them to hell.
I don't understand it. I don't get it.
Send them to hell.
The work is done.
Send them to hell, where they might just run into.
Oh, you fucking bastard!
The Doomslayer. But you better wait till March 2020.
Oh my god!
Because he's taking a bit of a nap.
Max, how fucking dare you? The rest of the stream is not going to be ASMR.
Sorry, hold on. Yeah. What's up, gamers? Doom got pushed back to March 2020.
I gotta ask you something.
What's up, gamer?
Barks is a really weird brand. Is that
the quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog?
Is that like that is root beer, right?
Barks, yeah. I always thought it was Barks, but that's so clearly not a G. I must have been fucking stupid. That shit's a Q. Walking around calling shit Barks. I was at a grocery store once. I'm like, hey, do you have any Barks? Like, what the fuck are you talking about, that ass?
You're socially awkward, so that must have been just terrifying.
You barg into my grocery stores talking that shit.
Fucking barg on in here.
Fucking how about you take a Q and you get the fuck out of here. Root beer is not a lot of sugar for
Why are you the way you are?
Because I don't know how to recognize letters.
It's called being dyslexic.
I know, it's becoming a problem. I've been at work and I've been like reading something and I just read it completely out of order and people go, what the fuck are you? I'm like, I was gonna make a joke about being dyslexic, but I think it's a cry for help now.
You know what that is?
What?
That's you reading subtitles too fucking fast. That's you having to acclimate your brain.
No,
it is.
Way.
Yeah.
There's no way. That doesn't... You're telling me watching anime has made me dyslexic? You're telling me that because I wanted to watch the cute
I'm telling you might have a firmer grasp on Japanese than English now.
You're telling me that I watched 13 episodes of these cute girls drawing comics in their dorm room, and now I can't fucking read? Well, it's a good thing they're drawing comics because at least I can look at the fucking pictures.
You can read, but you read 2 words in the future because your eyes are always darting faster to keep up with the conversation.
But I'm not. But I can read the subtitles. So
That's what I'm saying.
But the words don't move.
No.
On the paper and they don't disappear.
No, that's what I'm saying is that when you're watching anime,
yeah,
and you're going to instinctively look up to see what they're saying too.
Yeah.
So your eyes are constantly darting back down, and you're only taking in some of the message.
And
so that's what you're
filling the pieces.
Yeah. So that's what your brain is doing. So that when something is stationary and there's no need for it, you skip over words. Because you're trying to do that, but there's nothing to fill in.
Yeah, and there's never anime titty, at least not in our paperwork.
Yeah.
Unless I draw it, and it's not
as good.
Same.
No. There's a
no
sufficient
artist.
Yeah, there's definitely an ability.
If you
to
look
draw
at my
anime
Twitter,
titty.
it says free agent Negan Max, and then in parentheses commissions closed.
It doesn't actually.
No, but it will soon. I don't think that'll fit. I think that's too much. Anyway, Doom's coming out in March 2020, so I really hope you didn't want to save any money. Like video games, you're probably gonna buy Final Fantasy VII instead. I feel like this was silly.
That is
just push it back to
March is a
April,
huge month,
right? Yeah, April.
March is a huge month for a lot of people. So Final Fantasy VII, Animal Crossing comes on the same day as Doom.
Yeah, what a crossover! I'm sure. There's so much overlap.
There's still been the art that's come out of it.
Isn't it wild that I'm probably going to pick up Animal Crossing in March?
Yeah, that is actually wild. Why?
Because I haven't played one since the original, and I really liked the original. Like, I love the first Animal Crossing, and then I thought all the other ones, like, I just never got into it. And I look at this one, and I'm like, oh, it kind of looks like the original. It's got some other stuff. I like Animal Crossing. I like when they go. And then it's like a dog, and they all got stupid speech impediments.
Umbra, I know you're there. Do me a favor. Give me a clip of that Max thing.
Sample it.
Sample it. That's
what you got to do is you got to put it on like a keyboard, so every syllable, so you can play, and then you can make me say all sorts of wacky
the new donation noise.
I think Max is slowly losing it. Well, I just found out I'm fucking dyslexic on stream. Normally a doctor tells you, and here I got you sitting on the couch.
Oh my god!
I can't believe I fucking read that chat message without having a panic attack.
Fucking conniption, yeah.
Yeah. So Doom got delayed. Hey, delay the game. Make it good.
Make it good.
At this point, fuck it. Just keep pushing it back.
Make it good. Also, I hope you don't like money.
Unless you're Square Enix. You're Square Enix legally not allowed to push their games back anymore. I'm sick of that shit.
Also, they can release their games whenever they want, though.
What do you mean?
I think that a Square Enix game can come out and nothing will ever compete with it. There is not a single game that will trounce it in sales ever.
No, I definitely think that. I'm just saying, like, if you announce a date, that's your date. Final Fantasy VII has to come out on that day. You're not allowed to push that back anymore.
Oh, no, I agree with you. I still think it's up in the air.
Yeah. Well, yeah, now that they know they're competing with Animal Crossing, they're going to push back.
I mean, come on.
And Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, they're fucked.
Oh, no, that is coming out in February?
February, I think. That's fine. I'm going to buy it. You weren't going to like it enough to buy it, so just play my copy.
I will. It'll be fun.
Oh, it's not on here, but we have all the characters for Grand Blue now. It's 11 characters. Woo, $60. Hell yeah. We're back on the PS.
Is that good?
We're back on the PS3.
Oh, there it is.
Here's my stance.
Okay.
Your fighting game can have 11 characters if they're 11 of the most diverse characters, if everyone is completely different, if they all have unique system mechanics, if they're all totally different. Skullgirls has 12 characters. But Philia plays different than Squiggly, plays different than Big Band, plays different than Beowulf.
Grand Blue has that, doesn't it?
No.
Oh.
Grand Blue's problem is that you know how to play the game in 30 minutes. Because your character does this one thing. They have this one combo. You're not going to find something more optimal than that because you physically cannot do that. At least from beta experience. I didn't play it at CEO Otaku just because everyone was kind of already doing the same things I was doing.
So I can compete and make money.
Yeah. It's, yeah.
Sure. Do it.
You just have to do A, and then you can literally hit the button for the special move. So I'm still going to buy it. I thought it was fun. It was less fun than Sam Show for the same reasons I like Sam Show. In that it is a simple fighter. I could pick it up. A new character comes out. Fuck it. I already kind of know how to play them. I know how to play neutral, so I get it. It'll be that. I'll buy the game, and then when a character comes out, I'll play it for a couple days.
I still haven't really played Sam Show.
Yeah, we're like 3 DLC characters in 2.
Well, my girl is coming.
Yeah, we don't know when, though.
Next year.
Next season, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, again, Final
So
Fantasy
when my girl
VII,
shows
maybe
up-
consider 2021.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I got some Sam Show to grind on.
Yeah, come on. PS4 crossplay exits beta and can be used by all developers now.
Woo! Finally, why?
Now we finally get. I guess they
If
figured it
does
out.
that but does that mean that PS5 is going to start with crossplay? And people have told me, yeah, why wouldn't they? They're not stupid. And I look at them and I go, really? You think that? You're that confident?
I don't think they were stupid for waiting. I think they were stupid for initially building their infrastructure that poorly.
No, I don't think it was a problem with infrastructure. I think it was inherently an issue monetarily. I think they just
well, no, because it's like
how is their infrastructure that bad? Well,
if you change your name, you lose your save.
Okay, hold on. And also PSN. Well, no, because even the Xbox One app on PC doesn't download fucking good enough for like Games Pass shit.
Yeah, but if you change your gamer tag, the game doesn't break. Because it's probably assigned to like you have your account. Your account has an ID, a string of numbers, right?
Yeah.
And that's how they identify you. I think PlayStation's is literally built like, I named myself Dark Sonic 4312. Go ahead and add me. I am Dark Sonic 4312. If I want to download my Wally save, it's only going to download for Dark Sonic 4312. First thing I ever downloaded off of a digital service. Thank you very much.
Was Wally?
Yeah. First digital game I ever bought was Flower, I think.
Oh.
And Pain, if you remember Pain. Pain's the game where you fire people out of a slingshot.
Oh.
Guess
yeah.
what? Yeah. Do you want to know? I don't think a single game is more not okay now than Pain.
Oof.
I'm going to download it again because I had all the DLC too. I'm going to download it, and we're not going to play it on stream. But I am going to show you that game is not okay anymore.
Oh, boy.
It's
got some Does it have any racist undertones?
Oh, my. It has undertones of everything.
Oh,
everything
wow.
has undertones.
Wow, that's weird, actually.
Yeah. It's like Ragdoll Kung Fu, but way worse.
Oof. Oof, that was bad.
Ragdoll Kung Fu it's certainly something.
So I'm still on this whole like whether or not it's going to be on PS5.
Yes.
I hope it's going to be on launch. I don't think it's not going to be on launch. But I just think that in today's day and age, with all the shit that we've been hearing about Sony people with leaving and all that shit, and how like shitty it was before, I'll believe it when I see it.
I think it would be silly not to, seeing how you already have it on PS4.
No, it's going to be silly if they don't.
Yeah, which is good because I'm gonna want to play.
But in a day and age of where we are, video game wise, silly is the new norm. So,
well, go ahead then.
I'm just saying, like you think about all the fucking, the
No,
Blizzard
I'm saying
shit.
you interrupted my segue, so go ahead.
Oh shit! I'm sorry.
No,
What did you say?
no, go nuts. Do it.
Oh.
No. Well, things are silly now. Is how you started.
You know what else is pretty silly? Fortnite 2.
Nah, see, you missed it. So you know what else is pretty silly? About half of the fucking planet's population staring at a big hole for days. Just staring at a big old hole. You start the game up. There's a big hole. I gotta call Epic because my fucking V-Bucks, my fake cryptocurrency, I can't see the number. Fortnite is dead. They killed Fortnite. It died.
For 2 days.
2 days, that's like a lifetime.
I still think some of the funnier jokes that were completely obvious but were still fun was we're going to play Fortnite and it's just people talking over the hole.
Yeah.
That's still one of my favorites. Like
Slasher's tweet of it's very fitting. And a bunch of gamers are staring at a hole, not knowing what to do.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Man, must have sucked if you were like, I was like level 49 on that battle pass, man. And then I got sucked into a big black hole and then lost 2 days.
I've played 7 matches of Fortnite too, and I'm already level 14. So that battle pass is not hard to not level up.
No, what I'm saying is on the battle pass before the event.
Hey, you want to know what's really fucking weird?
What?
You know how they do that map now?
No.
It's grayed out.
What do you mean?
You have to go there for it to be on your map.
What? Wait, what? So every match?
It starts gray unless you drop there.
Is this leading into them stealing from Apex?
Well, they did steal from Apex.
No, I know.
Immediately.
Yeah, they got boats.
And reboot cards.
That's true. And
the ping system.
But if the map is always the same, what does that matter? Because you know what the map looks like.
Nobody knows.
What if like
the map is new? The map is entirely new.
So maybe like for the first week, that's how it'll be. Maybe.
No, it's a whole. You have your battle pass EXP tied to it. Uncovering new locations.
Oh well, I mean, then after the first battle pass, maybe it'll. Because that doesn't make any sense unless the map changes. No,
you're right. What I'm saying is, I don't think it's going to be like a battle pass thing. I think it's just like
that's just the
natively the game at start. I've never seen a battle royale game go. You don't know what's on the map.
Yeah.
Here's the whole map, but it's grayed out.
The first 30 seconds of your match in Street Fighter, none of the bars are on screen. I hope you just know how much your moves do.
Big yikes.
I hope you were counting your hits.
So
do I have meter? Go for it.
Here's a couple of things they added that are for the layman. Because I've got a couple of friends who sat there and were like, let's play Fortnite. And I was like, that's fucking dumb.
We like Fortnite.
We like Fortnite. So fishing is a thing. And yes, fishing in the middle of a match is a thing.
I'm going to interrupt you almost immediately.
Okay.
You know what is really good for your fast-paced combat game with 100 people fighting to the death?
Yeah.
Stopping to go for a fish.
Have you played Fortnite?
I played duos with Sophia.
Do you know how confusing it is to see those games being played at such a fast pace when your run speed is like slower than most competitive games?
That's what I'm saying is like I don't know what the pace of that game is for like the average
Nobody
player.
does.
Because
the average player is essentially you basically get into a match, you hammer down on things so you can get materials. Because now materials aren't just used for building anymore. You can use materials to upgrade your guns, and you keep looking. The idea is look for treasure chests. You don't look for just random items in the environment. Yeah. You look for a treasure chest because the treasure chest will have a better thing behind it.
Yeah, I've played about as much Fortnite as I've played Apex. The battle royale I've played the most of was Realm Royale, the high res one. And I think the idea of farming for materials, I don't get it. I don't understand it. It is probably the one game that I pick it up and I play it. And I'm like, I don't know how kids enjoy this. I don't know how adults enjoy this. I don't get it. Because everything.
So here's the reason why people enjoy it. Because Fortnite removes the one problem that you hate about battle royales.
What?
Getting shot randomly.
Yeah, but I have to build a wall.
Exactly.
But I don't want to build a wall.
Then
wait, that's not my one problem with battle royales.
No, but like not your specific problem. But I'm saying like generally one of the biggest problems that happens in a lot of battle royales is you'll be walking and you'll get a shot. Now normally in most shooters, when we know the rule, you get shot at first, you die.
Yeah.
There's no cover. You're out in the open, you're fucked. But Fortnite with the building immediately removes that problem and adds a whole new gameplay space by essentially making it now you've made your own vantage points. And the general idea behind quote unquote building is the idea of being able to quickly, and they weren't originally thinking about it in that way, but quickly building up a space to give yourself some high ground and kind of be able to safely, but just to kind of like poke at people, which is one of the biggest complaints about most battle royale games is getting sniped from a distance and not knowing where it came from. Because if you think about it, most of the matches turn into you running across the map, and occasionally you'll get shot from somewhere you have no idea from, and you have that song and dance where you're just like kind of dancing around in the middle, going, "Oh fuck, I don't see any cover, I'm fucked." So Fortnite removes that wholeheartedly
I was gonna
and
say
forces
that sounds
someone
like more
into
of an issue with map design than
that's just a problem. And if you map design and game design is intrinsic with one another in battle royale shooters. So like obviously stages don't really matter unless it's built around it within fighting games. But in shooters, maps design is tied inherently within game design.
No, and that I understand.
So it's so those two things are
short
not
time with
right.
Call of Duty. It's
right.
Like,
those two things are inherent upon one each other. So when you have a situation in most battle royale games where you look at traditional like PUBG or even like Realm Royale, where a lot of snipers and a lot of long range weapons will almost always win out in duels because of the fact that they are high powered and they allow people a level of superiority over their opponents, as it were.
Yeah.
Fortnite literally allows you to take control of the situation and then have them reorient. And depending on the material that you use, that cover can stay for as long as you want it to.
Yeah.
And then you can also use that same mechanic to build a literal pathway towards them. And if you do it fast enough, you can build a pathway that is also reinforced. So essentially, it's like the pacing of Fortnite is incredibly weird because the whole game is built around the idea of like, okay, you're supposed to be building.
Yeah.
But if you're like me and you're just kind of like an okay shooter.
I was gonna say, yeah, you're either harvesting, and I guess that's the thing is like it solves the problem, I guess, but I don't like the solution. I would rather just have less open areas, or have it like.
Then it's just a shooter at that point. It's just a normal shooter. If you like big, and it's just Battlefield. Battle Royale is almost entirely like, because like not only that, but like there's different biomes, especially in Fortnite, especially with Fortnite 2, as it were, Chapter 2, where it's just Fortnite 2, where there's different biomes that actively like change the environment. It's just not possible in like traditional maps. You know what I mean? Like a map has to be built. Like if you talk about like big maps that make sense and work, you have to look at the Battlefield series.
I don't think there shouldn't be a big wide open field that you can walk out if you want to get shot in the head. But I think a big wide open field should be your fastest way. But there should always be an option where it's like, okay, this is going to take longer. The wall's closing in, but it's a little safer.
But there are though.
Yeah, but I also don't want to build like at all.
Well,
I'd rather have better movement and just like if I get shot in the head, leave me with just enough to like go, okay, that's where the red thing was. He's there. I'm going to start. I want Titanfall. I just want Titanfall stuff so bad. And I wanted Apex to be Titanfall, and it's not. If you had like air dashes, right? Let's stop. Max is going to talk about air dashes again, right?
Yeah.
Take out the building, add like air dashes, and you go in any direction. Like you go where you look maybe, or where you're holding. You can go down.
All right, so Halo 5 Battle
drop
Royale.
down. Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, that. Done. With Titanfall's wall running. And the grappling hook. Bring the grappling hook. That's it. Make that.
Okay.
Also, if everyone's complaining about getting shot out of nowhere, then I'm pretty sure the last thing you want to do is go fucking fishing.
Yeah. So back to that. Fishing.
Hit me with the new Fortnite stuff.
Fishing literally is just that you fish for items, and the items, and when you fish and there are enough items, you can either get fish that act as health, or you can get items that are rare guns.
Yeah.
So it's another way of like you don't have to worry about like looking for a treasure chest constantly, because there's going to be situations where you'll go into a town and like, oh, the place has been raided, so there's nothing in this area.
Yeah.
So you might as well just go for and get the fish in the pond there, see if you can find something. Then they've upgraded it so the weapons work better. I don't feel it. Apparently they keep saying the weapons
the
do
patch
work better.
notes say weapons feel better.
Speaking of weapons feeling better,
stats.
You can upgrade weapons now using an insane amount of resources, but you can upgrade weapons now if you find an upgrade station.
Yeah.
There's the reboot card, which you can bring your friends back. I think that was added in beforehand, but still it's part of it. You can carry your friends now, but you can also carry enemies. So that's fucking hilarious.
That's cool.
So
I like that.
what ends up happening is what we've been doing is and my friend is like, he was screaming the other day, he's like, oh, team's literally on me, man, team's on me, like, and he got downed and they grabbed him and they kidnapped that motherfucker and made us run for him.
Yeah, that's
and they put him
good.
in his fort while he's like dying and bleeding out.
Yeah.
And we just figured, like, instead of downing people and killing them immediately, because the other big problem with battle royales is, you know, when you're in a situation, it's like either A, you let them bleed out, or use them as like bait. But here it's quite literal, like, I'm going to kidnap this motherfucker and now he's my literal bait and I'm going to make people try to run towards him and save him.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious and is a really good thing. And the fact that Fortnite added it and Battlefield 1 still hasn't added this ability to do, even though they said that the game was going to, not Battlefield 1, the Battlefield 5 was going to launch with that ability to carry your teammates, is fucking ridiculous to me. I still don't think it has it.
Oh yeah, Battlefield 5.
Yeah.
That came out, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Good for them. I'm glad it worked out for them. I'm glad that released, I guess.
So yeah, I mean, it's still Fortnite. It's still the same fucking game. I wish I could play Fortnite and like it, because it's not a bad game. The more and more I think about it, it's just not a bad game. It's just not for me.
Yeah.
It
feels like an okay game that I might give a try, with a mechanic that absolutely turns me off completely.
Yeah.
And a part of it is, building is just not fun to me. Another part is like, I don't want my downtime to be clicking on walls. Like honestly, Realm Royale, out of all the battle royale games I've played, Realm Royale had the best downtime to me, because it still drove action where you go and you go to the, if you haven't played it, like you collect resources as you go. It's mostly from either chests or selling items or selling abilities and that sort of thing. And then every like building in like I what do they call it? Quadrants, areas. You basically have like a big furnace. You go, you can upgrade your equipment, you can get a class skill, you can get a class weapon or anything like that. But it costs time. And what that essentially turns it into is your team going here, you're occupying this section of the map, and at that point, everyone knows that you're using the forge, so it almost becomes like a weird horde mode, where even your downtime's like, I'm upgrading my equipment or whatever, you're like taking positions around the building, you're keeping a lookout, because everyone else goes like, oh, that fucking forge is active, there's a team in there right now. Let's, we ambush them, or you can avoid it. And then once it's in the forge, like if you kill the team, that stuff will still cook and drop, and you can just pick it up and use it, so you can steal it from other people. Like, I don't know, that still feels more like
I just wish weapons fucking worked better in that game.
Yeah, I know. I wish Realm Royale was better in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
It's got cool ideas, much like I think every high res game, where it's like, I feel like there's a good game here somewhere. It's just a little janky.
Maybe that one game they're gonna release that is so unremarkable, no one remembers the name of it. Maybe that'll be fun.
The mage one?
No.
I'm so exasperated. Do you even know which one I'm talking about?
No.
Is this a segue?
No, not a segue. There's nothing.
There's nothing?
You don't remember it? It was the one. It was announced in Nintendo Direct.
The Wipeout one?
No, it was a shooter. It was so unremarkable, no one remembers it. But it was there.
No.
It was the Nintendo Direct.
Which Nintendo Direct? What Smash character got revealed?
Oh, it was Banjo's.
Oh,
not revealed. It was like at the end of it was Banjo's. Xenoblade Chronicles HD was announced at the end of it.
No.
You didn't read that? You didn't see that one?
No, I saw it. No, I 100% saw that Direct, and I remember most things from it. I don't know what game you're referring to.
Yeah.
Is it a battle royale?
No, it's just a shooter.
Is it from High Res?
Yeah.
Is it a hero shooter?
No.
No, it's not.
You know what it looks like?
It looks like...
Do you remember Itagaki's game? Devil's Third?
Yeah.
Remember how that had a multiplayer segment?
I'm going to be honest. I'm trying to remember. I think my brain is just constructing a new game. It kind of looked like one of those free-to-play games on Steam that was like a shooter. Like
yeah, you're getting there.
Oh my god, what's the one I played? It had like a weird vampire mode. It was like black.
Oh no.
Something.
You know, I feel like this is the game that might as well prove the Mandela effect for some people.
I don't even what.
This game that I'm talking
it's
about.
called Devil's Fourth.
Oh no.
No,
Fuck off, Siri.
no. I distinctly remember now.
Rogue Company.
No. Sorry, man.
It's a new cross-platform shooter.
I 100% believe you that was announced. I now remember a high-res game that looked like it was a free-to-play Chinese first-person shooter, but like not one of the ones with money put into it. Like one of those ones where you download the game and it's a launcher, and the launcher makes you feel uncomfortable.
Yep.
Like I'm going to get hacked. And then it puts the cheat protection thing comes up. And you're like, that's not real cheat protection. That thing is scary. It's just hiding in my BIOS. That's what it looked like. But I cannot tell you. I remember an overhead shot of a team walking forward. That's all I remember. And that might not be true. It might be all a big fabrication, a big false lie.
After this, we'll go look at the trailer and see how true you are. How right you are.
Am I even?
So, okay, last bit of news I just put on there because I was like, I don't know if you heard about that. Remember that game that they announced a while ago?
Yeah. Didn't the main artist from Shigemori... What does the book say? What does it say? I have like 4 art books from him.
I don't know.
Whatever.
But Project Grief Fantasy is fucking vaporware. For those of you who don't know what Project Grief Fantasy is, it's the game that the mainline Persona team is supposed to be working on, and there is no progress on it.
Yeah.
They said they finally come to a place where they think they know what's going to happen.
What does that even mean?
That was announced like 2 or 3 years ago.
I genuinely don't understand when companies are just like, yeah, it's been like 3 years and no one really knows what's going on.
So
like, how do you not have a team meeting after like a week? I get it. It's like nobody knows what we're making. How is it like after a week you don't go like, okay, this is the video game. Here's the whiteboard. This is what it's called.
I don't know what the hierarchies. I think it's got to be like a issue with the hierarchy system in Japanese development culture. But like you think back to like the Final Fantasy VII remake, right? And how Tetsuya Nomura had no idea he was the director until he saw the trailer. That's a real thing that happened.
Okay, but that was like a pre-production. Like, okay, are you talking about the reveal?
Yeah. No, he knew. He found the reveal. We found out when everybody else found out.
But
so like
that's
the fact that there's Japanese companies that still like, to me what that says is that there is just like someone has an idea and that idea is either just not like feasible or it's just not going to work, or like there's some kind of thing holding them back from it.
I just feel like the moment you like, this is a video game. We're working on this game. It's been greenlit.
Right.
At that point, people should at least know what they're working on. Like, what do you show up to work? You're a coder. You show up to work.
Yeah.
What do you sit down and start doing? You're like, I guess I'll make a menu.
No, I still think they're
in
pre-production. They're in pre-production still. I think that they finally announced that they're in a phase where they're going to get out of pre-production.
Okay. That's different. So then we just don't know what we're working on.
But no, but they have quite literally said we are now finally starting to come to a point in which we know what we want to do with it.
Okay, that's different.
But that was announced 2 to 3 years ago.
Oh, well, in that case.
So like the pre-production phase pre-production can last a long time. I mean, you look at fucking Final Fantasy versus 13. But a lot of the reason why that was is because Tetsuya Nomura had all of these really pie in the sky ideas with technology that just wasn't present.
Yeah.
So I think that a lot of the problems that keep happening is that Japanese culture, for whatever reason, feels like there's this stigma behind Western culture in that they are constantly trying to catch up to Western-made games, and they keep losing sight of what makes their games so amazing. And because of that, they start trying to appeal to the general audience as opposed to just the audience that they bring in. Like Persona 5 is like a perfect example of a game that is inherently made with Japanese sensibilities and Japanese values from the very onset, and it's so great because of that. And it's a JRPG to its core, and it has very little things that maybe it kind of adopted from Western games, but it didn't drive the development of it.
Yeah, like maybe jazz, like the invention of jazz.
Yeah, like that's it. But like
the color red Who can say?
Like, in comparison to Final Fantasy 15, which is, a flawed masterpiece in some people's eyes.
Yeah.
It is a game that, at the end of the day, I'm not going back to or have the want to ever in my life right now because I find it so draining.
I was going to go back when everything was out, and I guess everything is out now.
Yeah, you have no more of an official statement than that guy got fucking fired.
Yeah.
Like, and they released the Arden DLC, and they said that's it.
Yeah. Thanks for that one, guys.
Yeah.
Real cool. That's why I don't want to go back. Fucking episode RNA. Just make it. RNA should be in Dissidia. I'll buy Dissidia again if they put RNA in.
Yeah, they keep fucking up. They keep adding Noctis like he was the most popular character, when in actuality, everyone knows it's RNA.
RNA should be in Tekken.
RNA should be everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, well. Yeah, well, good. I'm glad they're stopping work on that stupid game that isn't fucking Persona 5 The Scramble. Fuck them.
Yeah.
If you're not, it sounds like they're scrambling right now.
Scramble is the
Muso.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got confused when I saw that, and they said, "Are you ready to fight?" And I was like,
No, never. Persona 5 Arena is not going to be made ever.
Yeah.
Until Arc System Works cuts something. They don't.
When Granblue gets done, and they get all the Granblue money, that's going to definitely come in. And then Guilty Gear is going to come out.
I hope after this next...
Because it'll be only 2 games. Because then the other game they have that's running right now is Cross Tag.
I hope when Broly comes out, they drop...
No, I forgot about DBZ.
Dragon Ball.
I can't believe I forgot.
Just stop working on it. Don't even update it. Fucking Marvel versus Capcom 3 it. Just pretend it doesn't exist anymore. When Broly drops, it's over. Done.
I gotta go to the bathroom. I've been holding in this whole time. I gotta go.
All right.
I gotta go.
Fine, you go and I'll just wrap it up.
No, just wrap it up.
I'll just have
I
had a whole thing.
What's the whole thing?
Yeah, it was like another 30 minutes of outro.
Oh yeah?
I had so many things to announce.
Oh no.
So this podcast is coming. Is gonna go up on YouTube. You're probably watching it there now. No, I'm just kidding. Nobody gets this far except for Anime Guy. Weeaboo Power Hour 1 is also going up. I have the next 2 planned. I have some stuff for Halloween planned as well. I don't know when we're going to have time to do it. I work until Friday. But we're going to work
Looks
on
like
that.
Friday's our big stream day.
Looks like we're just going to start streaming at like 12 p.m. on Friday and go until midnight.
Lasagna pizza.
Lasagna pizza day. I don't know who's going to buy the lasagna pizza.
No one here.
No one here. So if you want to donate a lasagna pizza, tune in to twitch.tv/hipstersonpurpose where we stream video games all the time. Or check out our YouTube channel where you too can see one video every 6 months.
Hey guys, we did get paid, by the way, from Twitch the other day. You got your payment, right? I gave you your payment. Okay. So please.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys so much for supporting
Thank you
us.
for your money.
Shout outs to specifically to Temperance and Trahogi for getting us past the 50 subscriber mark.
Ooh. I didn't know we had that many.
We did. I think we're back down to 45 right now, but that's because certain people didn't just update their Amazon Prime. But still, that's great. That's amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Also, big thank you to AFK Arena, one of the #1 mobile games out there right now. Do you want an RPG that's simple to play, but also really in-depth? You want to check out AFK Arena. You start right now, you get a free 5-star unit. You join the Hipsters on Purpose Guild. Let me tell you, it's got PvE, it's got PvP, it's got EvE. You can just watch the gameplay itself. That's kind of the point.
You know, it's funny that you say that. I actually was playing another game that we were sponsored by as well at the same exact time. Raid Shadow Legends is another amazing mobile game. It's got more than 10 million users. I don't know if you guys knew this. We actually just got sponsored by them literally as I am talking. I got a text from a guy who said, I have an entire bag of money here specifically just for the Hipsters on Purpose. If you shout out Raid Shadow Legends on your incredibly prestigious podcast that Anime Man listens to specifically. And I said, you know what? You drive a hard bargain. I think that, honestly, in the grand scheme of it all, had I known that Raid Shadow Legends was a bad game, I wouldn't do it. But now I know, just with that bag of money, it has to be a good game.
And it's really ironic because, as we all know, comedy works in threes, and we've also been sponsored by Honkai 3rd Impact. Do you want to play an intense action game available on your mobile device right now? Check out Honkai 3rd Impact, where you can get multiple characters, cool outfits, and enjoy an engrossing story right on your mobile device.
I want to go ahead and say that Rowboat is in chat. He said he loves all the effort we put in the bit, but there is an act of desperation. And yes, absolutely, 100%. If Raid Shadow Legends showed up and said, we have $10,000 for you, which, by the way, they give like tons of money.
Yeah.
And they said, if you just shill for this game.
And I wish I really could.
Listen, if it means we can do the stupid shit that we're doing and not have to worry about anything, I will sell my soul to a mobile game company.
Yeah.
Which
is a shame because I've already sold my soul to Lineage 2, available now on mobile devices. Do you want to play an engrossing open-world MMORPG on your smartphone mobile device? Try out Lineage 2, one of the number one played games in the galaxy. There's not a game that gets played more than Lineage 2. Do you want to sit in a big crowded arena surrounded by a bunch of people on their iPhone 11s while you use your iPhone 8, but that's okay because it still runs on it, just not as good? You should probably consider an upgrade. Check out Lineage 2, available now on the Google Play Store and Apple iTunes.
You know, Max, I really hear you on that one. I absolutely love MMOs, but it pales in comparison to Ion Mobile, one of the best games in North Korea.